Sorry about that. As I flashed you with Windows XP. Ah! Windows XP jump scare. Also, Nox, thank you for the raid. Hi, orphans. Have you come to be adopted? Hi! Do you want a Christmas miracle? I can adopt you. Hi, Safi. Hi, Nox. Hello, hello, hello. Down, down, down. Hi. Y'all, I was struggling lifting up this blanket. What is that miracle? You get a loving family. The orphans get a loving family. She needs to lift more? Yeah, I was lifting. It's because I'm... Gomelis, thank you for 10 memberships. What the heck? Yeah! Lulu strong? Well, I was lifting stuff, and then the blanket. You just don't expect that the blanket is so heavy, the weighted blanket. Thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you for 10 memberships. Thank you, Nox. Thank you. I will be taken care of by the lasso. Hi! Are y'all ready for some more Warhammer? Yay! I gotta finish the second video that I didn't last week. Alright, you ready? How many Warhammer fans do I have here? Already. In the first few minutes. Thank you. That was the next question I was gonna ask. Is there any people that have read a bunch of books? I need some book recommendations. I need some good book recommendations for people who are new to Warhammer. Hi! Is there any authors that you recommend? Excuse me. Eisenhorn trilogy. Okay. Okay, I see two people saying Eisenhorn. I don't know how you say it. Let me write it down. Let me write it down real quick. Do you think I can purchase these books? Or do I have to go to a specific site? Like purchase these books on Amazon? Hello, YOLO Monkey. Eisenhorn series. Audiobooks on Amazon? Books are cheap? Okay. What was the other one you said? Skyfuzz Cane books. Hello, hello, hello. Fabius Bible. Okay, okay. Hi, Lulu. Might be cold. Oh, yeah. It is very cold. My fingers have barely any feeling in them. Woo! The Kara Dawn books? The Horus Heresy? A bunch of Warhammer books are 50%. Right now, how long are they going to be 50% off? 50% off Horus books. Horus Heresy books. 2 more days? Okay. They have books on the Warhammer store? Okay, got it. I'm writing all this down. It has been super cold. My fingers, they're all red and numb. I'm under a weighted blanket right now, though. Hi, howdy. I should say howdy to everyone. Howdy, Safi. Howdy, Zombie. Howdy, Minsecure, Mr. Insecure. I can't read. You know what? I'm a little bit worried if I can't read Mr. Insecure. Howdy, Canasta. Howdy, Loyalist. Howdy, I'm YOLO Monkey. Howdy, Vev. Dagon. I wouldn't say Horus Rising is a good place to start. Unless you want to get into the heresy. Didn't y'all recommend Horus Heresy? Ahmed, hello. Wivery, hello. Rin, hello. Mela, hello. Senrock, hello. Gomelis, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Hello. Rix, hello. Not subs, memberships. Oh no. Don't ban me! Don't ban me, Twitch! I'm at memberships! Howdy, Smoldersome. Howdy, Renegade. Howdy, Navy Shield. Howdy, Wolf. Anyone else here? Did I miss you? How was your day? What did you do Sunday? Did you wake up early? Did you? Howdy, Cyril. Howdy, Psycho. Howdy, Kika. Howdy, Luna. Howdy, Luke Gustafsson. Howdy, one cool... Wait, what is that user? One cool ass fat man. Do you play Fallout New Vegas, or do you mean like fat man, fat man? Howdy, Big Corky. Howdy, Potato Man. How dare you be late? You hate me! Howdy, Joey. Howdy, Nasty Canasta. Howdy, Fat Rebel. Pants. Apotheosis. Howdy. Thank you for the super chat, Emperor Kate. There's a really good video that explains every faction in Warhammer Fantasy by Pancreas No Work. Let me write that down. I'm gonna make this a separate category on my notes. Okay. Books to read. Warhammer edition. And then videos to watch. I'm a slow typer, so... What was it? Wait, hi, Empty. Pancreas no work. Is this a safe creator? Do they get political? the book I would recommend is The Great Devourer. It was really good, I thought. I love caterpillars. I love the book Hungry Hungry Caterpillar. Also, The Great Devourer reminds me of Ninjago. Wow! Where my howdy at? Draconian howdy. Howdy! Did y'all like my Santa Baby cover? I mean, I didn't add any mixing. I just did a karaoke and sung in a southern accent. Say it to baby. Just slip a sable under the tree for me. Papabachi, thank you for gifting 20 memberships. Thank you. What the heck? Thank you, partner. Yes, congrats on the exams. Anyone else take exams? Anyone else, have you taken exams? If you have, I commend you. With a song. Yeah, it's real cowbell. I've taken exams and they suck. I'm sorry. Pretend I'm like putting my hand on your shoulder to give you comfort. Yeah, I got a real cowbell, a real harmonica, and also a real banjo, but I gotta spend time to learn that one a little bit more. You must have really good soundproofing. Nope. My parents, they like when I ring the cowbell. Lulu, do you have... What does that word mean? QAQ, chat reference, preference. Yeah, so... banjo playing is a little bit different. So with banjo, you gotta have picks on all 4 fingers, or no, maybe it's, I think 4 fingers. You have a thumb pick and then one for your, no, 3 fingers. Maybe, I don't remember. I'd have to play it. I'd have to bring the banjo out myself. And it hasn't been tuned. I don't know what a QAQ is, so... Yeah, you have to use the finger picks if you want to play bluegrass style, which is the one that I want to play, but none of the finger picks fit my fingers, and I tried bending them with pliers and it just didn't work. But, so I've been like just playing with my fingers, not with the picks. Which you're not supposed to learn it that way. That's what everyone says. Oh, I hate playing with them. They're loose. They fly off randomly. Do you have a chat preference? Okay, so all of your chats are all put together, all on the same thing for me. The only difference between your chats is like, there's a YouTube symbol and a Twitch symbol. So you're basically combined on my screen. You're rubbing elbows with the Twitch people, YouTube. Twitch, you're also rubbing elbows with the YouTube. Some would say, this person above me is hot. Rub rub. Hi, Joey. I see you're on YouTube too. Who do you think would win? Twitch or YouTube? This person above me is hot. Max. Max thinks Future is cute. This person is stinky. Vev is stinky. And Capres is evil, apparently. Do you have a preferred genre or faction? I like the Tyranids. But I also like the battle hotties. The girls. The battle ladies. The sisters of battle. Yeah, the sisters of battle. The women. The women. Have you seen this one meme with Mort? Me saying it like that reminded me of this one meme. Bugs and the Sisters of Battle. Hold on. Here, I'll play this audio for you.
Once we're over the wall, go for the males first. The children we can sell. And the women. The women. We will always treat with respect.
That's right. The women we will always treat with respect. More is base. Treat all women with respect. Always. What do we do when you see a lady walking towards the door? You hold the door open for her. Wolf whistle? No? Why not? I mean, I hold the door open for anyone. Slam it shut? Man, chivalry is dead. Chivalry's dead. That's okay, I guess. Wait, what happened to Twitch? Oh no. Oh, we're fine. I thought Twitch died. Women killed chivalry? It's okay. I'll let you hold the door open for me. I'll let you hold the door open for me, and then I'll give you some of my Christmas crackers. Thank you. Oh yeah, I made some Christmas crack today. I made some good Christmas crack. No, not crack, Christmas crack. Christmas crack. Listen, let me tell you what Christmas crack is. Okay? So what you do, this is how you make Christmas crack. You lay a whole sleeve of crackers, like the square crackers. Get a pan, put it on some wax paper, lay all the crackers in a perfect square on the pan. Then you take a saucepan, put that pan on the burner, okay? Then you put, this is a lot of butter. You put 2 sticks of butter in the pan, and then you put 1 cup of brown sugar, okay? And you let that melt and you stir it around all nice and good. Yeah, it's a lot of butter. You stir it all around, you wait for it to boil, and then you keep stirring for 3 minutes. Then you pour all of that good toffee onto the crackers and you spread it out perfectly. Okay. Then you put it in the oven at 350 for 5 minutes. Oh wait, just kidding. You add vanilla extract and salt to your boiling mixture and then you put it on. Then you put it on. And then you put it into the oven for 5 minutes. And you have to wait till the toffee mix is like boiling or bubbling. Then you take it out and you put your chocolate chips on there. And then you put tin foil to cover it so you can let it melt all over that stuff. Okay? Take it off and then spread the chocolate everywhere, the melted chocolate. And then put on your M&Ms, your... Well, you could use pretzels, but I didn't use pretzels. I used crushed up candy canes and M&Ms. I do have a lasso anyways. What does toffee taste like? Heaven. And then you put that in the fridge or the freezer. In the freezer for 30 minutes, in the fridge for 2 hours. Boom. And then you take it out and you smash it. You crack it into little pieces and then boom. Christmas crack. It's really good. There was one side that I didn't add any peppermint. I was about to like put the whole thing candy cane, like crushed up candy canes all over it. Then my mom was like, but some people don't like it. And I was like, okay, fine. Okay. And then I made a Reese's Pieces section for people who like peanut butter. It's really good. You eat one piece and you're like, I want more. Ooh, Space Cats, thank you for the super chat. I wish I had a cute Gyadu like Lulu to cook for me. Nah, Christmas crack is easy. It's really easy. I bet you could do it. Are you a good cook? With instructions, yeah. Don't worry, I'm not your forger. I was just watching the new season of Spike's Family. I'm not. I wish I was as sexy, but... And I wish I was as strong. Ugh. Hi, Artigas. Alright, let's start on some Warhammer lore. I'm not better than Yor. I love Yor. Oh my... You need to watch the new season of Spike's Family. One of the episodes was so good. One of the episodes in the new season was my favorite episode, like, in the whole series. Okay. It is time to start watching some Warhammer. And then we can talk about more about what books I need to read. Okay, so this is part 2. This is part 2 of... What's the plan? We're watching Re-Explained because apparently Re-Explained is better than the first ones that we watched. Can you give a rehash? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember. It's been a week. All I remember is that I hate the Eldar. Hate! I viscerally hate Eldar. I hate the Drukhari. I hate Slanesh. I do like... I think I like the Sisters of Battle. I also don't like how the Imperium solves the problem of AI by creating slaves. I don't like that, but you know, not as bad as the Drukhari, so I give them a pass. They're okay. I give them a pass. They're better than the Eldar, okay? I hate the Eldar. All of them. All of them. What about the Tau? Don't be mad at me, okay? The Tau didn't really stand out to me that much. How dare you question? I'm not questioning. I just think that I don't like it when people suffer, but everyone suffers in Warhammer, so not as bad. They get a pass. And also, they get a pass because the Sisters of Battle are hot, so... What about orcs? Did they talk about orcs? Did they talk about... last time? Or I think that was in the other part too. Oh, Tau is being talked about in this one. Wait. Let me tell you what's going to be talked about here. Oh, orcs. Orcs is going to be talked about today. Orcs was not talked about last time. That's what I thought. This is part 2. We just watched part 1. I really like orcs. I think orcs are fun. If I ever were to play, like, the tabletop, I'd want to play orcs. Although my luck isn't very good, so it wouldn't be good for me. But I want to try it. Because it's all, like, RNG. And I like that they can use their mind to think of things. Like, if they want their machines to run and they really want to imagine them to run, then they run. That's pretty awesome. Have you ever played the video games? The only Warhammer video game I've played is Total Warhammer 3. That's the only one, but I did purchase Dark Tide, and I think I purchased Dawn of War. So, okay. Okay. Let's see here. I think I bought Space Marines. I did forget to buy it before the sale went off, so I'm not sure whether I bought Space Marines yet. Isn't Space Marines a third-person shooter? Yeah, I'm not a fan of third-person shooting. Really? But I'll try it. I do want to play Dark Tide because I can play with you guys. Though. Dawn of War 4. Okay, I don't really trust that a 4th game is gonna be as good as the first one. Even though I've never played Dawn of War, I just heard that people really like Dawn of War. Like the first one. A cowgirl in space? They call me a cow. I don't know. I was gonna make a Cowboy Bebop reference, and my mind just blanked. Is there any pieces of media? I mean, other than Cowboy Bebop, where there's like cowboys in space. I mean, there is cowboys in Cowboy Bebop. The one blonde girl on the bounty hunter show. Space Dandy.
This video is part
Oh my,
two in
I got
a
jump
two-part
scared.
series on every faction re-explained. If you've not seen part one, you were either snatched by the YouTube algorithm, or you don't let anything, not even common sense, hold you back.
Wait, is Outlaw Star in space? No way! Oh, I gotta figure out how to watch Outlaw Star. Maybe I have to sail the 7 seas.
And for that, well, I wish I could be that strong. The quest to find the Primarchs was expansive and treacherous, to the point where they really should write a book about it. Despite never seeing the Emperor before in their lives, the Primarchs all instinctively knew
Whoa,
who the
look at this
Emperor was.
art.
Whether it's his psychic connection to him or just
Emperor.
plain old intuition, the giant golden god is a bit of a giveaway.
Lego!
The Primarchs all lived their own lives, and some lived substantially better lives than others. Rabute Gilliman of the Ultramarines rose
What? Hey gamers, editor here. Somehow, I can't read that.
through the ranks of his worlds and ended up turning
Oh
an
my
entire
goodness,
sector
Caesar?
into a high-functioning society, where others, like Mortarion, lived on the poisonous hellscape of Barbarous under the boot heel of his own adopted father. When the Emperor arrived, some wanted to play a little bit of catch with their dad at first, and some didn't trust the baseball bat.
Thank you for the super chat. Alistar has the greatest thing that was forgotten since the 90s ended. I know what you're talking about, Maximus. I saw a photo of her and I thought she was so hot. Anyways.
Carrying, and some
Hi,
didn't want to
Emperor.
play at all.
I like your
Eventually,
long, luscious
one
hair.
by one, the Emperor returned his sons to his side to bring them back together as one happy family. A family who needed
Ooh.
a good cleaning. Are you
Happy
tired
family.
of pouring old soap? Is your son the foulest
Soap?
being ever? Do your eyes sting when he comes near? Well, clean that man right back up with the power of Cheeky. That's right,
Cheeky.
the brand new moisturizing bar soap brought to you by Moist Critical and
Are you supposed to
Bricky
use it on your
Nurgle
cheeks?
hates it, but you'll love it. Bar soap is always so sticky and has a ton of fuss, but now you'll be glowing to the surprise of
Cheeky.
Lehman Russ. Cheeky soap is so good, we didn't even take a down payment for the sponsor.
Skip
That's
ad.
right. We love this
I
soap
feel like
so
I'm
much,
doing
we
a
are offering
disservice to the
100%
creator for
commission.
skipping
We
the
are
ad.
supported purely and only by
Must
those of you
sit
who
through
buy
this.
Cheeky. It is the best bar soap we have ever used. That is no
I'll be honest with you, if I was watching this by myself, I'd skip.
hyperbole. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Take it from the man himself.
Bricky's right. It's very good.
Enjoy a multitude of flavors, including lo-fi lavender, Pope Francis,
No
Just Soap,
skipping.
grass, and absolute cinnamon. Cheeky alone has made me swap back to bar soap as my primary choice. No more liquid soap for this brick. Cheeky is the play. Go ahead and go to usecheeky.com/.
Has anyone bought Cheeky soap?
Bricky or code Bricky for 10% off your purchase and domestic.
If you have, tell me what it's like. Did you use it on your butt cheeks?
Get clean now.
Nope. Oh my! How much money is that?
Turned on him.
His floor is worth like $20,000. Rado, thank you for the super chat. The Emperor wanted us all to have luscious hair. We love corpse starch. Oh yeah, I forget that the Imperium eats dead bodies, which I mean makes sense because I feel like food would be kind of scarce, or maybe it corpse starch tastes good.
After the Emperor was able to bring all of his sons back into the fold again, he sent them on their way with his end goal in mind, reclaiming the lost worlds of humanity. Each of his Primarchs fanned out across the galaxy to accomplish this goal, but the one they were expected to report
Primarchs.
to was his
Does anyone have a favorite Primarch?
favored son. and the first one found, allegedly, which was Horus. Horus was granted the title of War Master, and he certainly lived up to Big E's expectations, which were very specific and set by Big E himself to all of his sons. However, either
I like Mr. Vampire Guy. I like Sanguinius. That's the vampire guy, right?
intentionally or not, the Emperor did not mention to his sons some of the more chaotic aspects of the galaxy. Horus himself, while in the process of reclaiming a more advanced human world, was informed of the existence of chaos
Horus!
gods, a factoid that Horus initially did not believe. To him, it was a bit unfathomable to think that his father would emit such significant information on the inner workings of the galaxy. However, he soon realized this was the truth, and this betrayal was unacceptable. With the astronomical weight put on his shoulders and his father immediately leaving it all in his hands, combined with the slow corruption of his mind by those closest to him, he began.
Thank you for the super chat. Food in the Imperium is all about who, what, and where. Corpse starch is made up of anything, sometimes people, but most world. Lizard steak and corn. Ugh.
Began to change his tune. Horus began amassing a following behind his father's back, with several other Primarchs, and began to formulate plans to usurp from his throne on Terra. While this was occurring, Magnus the Red tried to FaceTime his dad on Terra, and that resulted in the shattering of a protective barrier between Terra and the demons of the warp. Due to this damage, the Emperor was forced to sit on the Golden Throne to assure that it would continue to function. Ultimately, half of the Primarchs would fall to chaos, and the remaining half would fight back viciously against their brothers. Horus eventually gained the upper hand and arrived in orbit above Terra
This art is
itself,
so good.
and after antagonizing his father enough, the Emperor temporarily
Erebus can suck my balls.
removed himself from the throne, strategically putting his old friend there as a seat warmer, and went to confront Horus himself on the Vengeful Spirit, his flagship. The Emperor
for the
faced
super
down
chat.
his son, and after
Favorite Primarch is Conrad Kurz. I admire him a lot. How he likes to help blind children. So he's the opposite of Mr. Beast.
heated battle and 64 novels, the Emperor managed to obliterate Horus on a subatomic level, but not before his favorite son was able to mortally wound the Emperor. As the dust settled and the traitors fled from Terra, the Emperor's body was dragged back onto the Golden Throne, where it sits permanently to assure that it continues to function. A corpse forced to constantly hold back the horrors of the warp and guide humanity with his pale light. And that
So
light
he's just a corpse.
flickered.
He isn't
From there,
sentient,
the
right?
remaining members of the traitors to the Emperor fled to their respective safe havens. These are the veterans of the Long War, the spiteful and to
Veterans.
them, the wronged. Those who would let the galaxy burn if it means the Imperium gets caught in the flames. These are the
Oh, Chaos Space Marines! The Imperium hater!
And what are the achievements of your fragile Imperium?
I wonder what it's like to be the Emperor and your soul is still there? Like, are you... Can you see stuff? Are you... like, still there mentally? What if you could astral project from your body?
It is a corpse rotting slowly from within while maggots writhe in its belly. It was built with the toil of heroes and giants, and now it is inhabited by frightened weaklings to whom the glories of those times are half-forgotten legends. I have forgotten nothing, and my wisdom has expanded far beyond mere mortal frailties. The Horus Heresy saw the collapse of the Imperium as we knew it at the time, and half of the Space Marine legions fell to the ruinous powers. Though the favored son, War Master Horus, was killed and the rebellion ended, the heretical forces retreated to the warp and remain a constant threat to this day. The twisted reminder of what the
Ooh,
temptations
look
of
that.
the
That
warp
looks so
can bring,
cool.
the Chaos Space Marines act as a mirror to the loyal legion.
The drip
and as
is
time
crazy.
progresses, their warp taint further changes them to suit the needs of their patron deity. Though marred and absolutely mangled by the ruinous powers, they are still unmistakably Space Marines in stature and shape. And according to them,
Yeah, they look
have
like
never
Space
been
Marines,
more
but
free.
evil.
After the heresy, the loyal legions of Space Marines became
I like
very
the red.
strict in their organization, and their separation into separate chapters with capped numbers and other formalities was done to prevent any form of heresy from happening again. The Chaos Space Marines are a bit different. Ultimately, these Marines are subject to the primary
Whoa.
legions that fell to chaos in the first place. The majority
Wait.
of these legions, the Black Legion, the Word Bearers, Iron Warriors, Alpha Legion, and the Night Lords, are supporters of Chaos undivided, either enjoying the powers
That
of
one
all
looks cool
Chaos
too. That one
gods,
looks
or
more like a Space
sometimes
Marine,
shunning
though.
them all together. But a few of them follow a very specific Chaos.
Hi.
Thousand Sons are followers of Zeech, the Death Guard follows Nurgle, Slanesh has
Is that-
their claws
Is that the one that's the pharaoh looking one? Like an Egyptian looking one? Wait, this one looks so cool! Whoa! Biggie's mind is split up when Primarch G-Man went to go see him. He heard all of Biggie's thoughts at once. A tool mistake. Ooh.
The Death Guard follows Nurgle, Slanesh has their claws in the
Yuck,
Emperor's
I don't like
children,
that
and
one.
the World Eaters are avid followers of
Okay, this
Khorne.
one's
From
cool.
there,
Khorne's
the legions
cool.
themselves are separated into
Howdy.
rogue war bands that may go under their own unique names or may stake a claim to one of the primary legions. Most of the gear and armor of a Chaos Space Marine remains the same, but stylistically it changes quite a bit to reflect the intention of the legion or their patron god. The Death Guard's armor has become rotted and full of gaping mouths and plague-filled wounds. The
Okay, it looks kinda
World
cool,
Eater's
though.
Sharp and violent
Khorne's
armor
cool.
reflects their bloodthirst, and the chaotic noise of the Emperor's children
That's
armor,
really
nipple
ugly.
rings included, pleases Slanesh
Nipple
greatly.
rings!
Due to the taint of chaos, the armor itself becomes less about plate
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I don't know if I could ever go through the pain of that.
and more about a new skin for any given Chaos Space Marine. Though the Chaos Space Marines have no true fear of death or numbers diminishing, there are still major recruitment efforts.
At least that's
for
what all them
legions.
assholes
However,
reckon
the
anyway.
Thank you for the throne donation.
is a lot more chaos fueled and is more of a forced assimilation, and in some instances, breeding. The organ implementations and other modifications are the same, and the necessity of a gene seed remains the same, but the result is a hell of a lot different.
Okay, but it
Understanding
looks
Chaos
cool,
Space
though.
Marines is a difficult exercise. If we took my original video 5 years back and looked at the Imperial Knights section, it mainly focuses on big stompy robots. Now that I understand more, I can discuss the Code Chivalric, the Throne Mechanicum, Squires, and
Code
Models, to bring
Chivalric.
some more context
That sounds like chivalry.
to it all. To assume Chaos Space Marines are simply the opposite side of Space Marines would be foolish, for once you understand the plight of their Primarchs, it can provide a context always needed. Horus himself turned through an overwhelming weight on his shoulders and lies told by his father. What of Angron? Angron lived as a slave gladiator for his planet's masters, who took Dark Age technology and shoved it into his brain, so experiencing any emotion other than rage was agony for him. He finally leads a
That's not his fault, though. I mean, this is a valid crash out. Literally.
revolt for his fellow gladiators and frees himself from the confines of servitude. The Emperor finds him and says he will take him home. but
Okay.
angry
Can we take a minute to appreciate how detailed this art is? This art was probably drawn a very long time ago, so they probably didn't have any type of shortcuts. Wow. Just look at the armor. It does go so hard. The patience you'd need to do this.
Ron refuses. He will fight with his friends against the tyranny
It is digital, but I don't think they had anything that fills in the gaps for them. If you know what I mean.
of his slave owners to the last. At the final last stand with him and his closest friends, slave gladiators, all of them outnumbered and on the verge of death, the Emperor forcefully teleports Angron to his flagship
Thank you for super chat.
and none of his
You're right.
compatriots, leaving
AI bad.
Angron to live and watch all of his friends die. You
No,
kept that
that's so
mule
sad.
Corpheron. Russ kept his kin friends. The lion.
Wait, Angron can't even feel sadness for his friends. He just feels anger.
Kept Luther, humans, brothers, and foster fathers, saved and raised into Legion ranks. But not me. Not Angron, no. Did the Emperor teleport his gold-wrapped custodians down to help me in my army? No. Did he free the Warhounds and order them to battle, fight alongside me? No. Did he save my brothers and sisters the way he spared and honored the lion's kin, the way he honored Corpheron? No, no, and no. No mercy for Angron, Angron the Oathbreaker, Angron the Betrayer. Conrad
Okay,
Curse lived as a
Angron
lonely
is
boy
allowed to be
scrounging
angry,
the
though.
dregs of a hive city
Who is
plagued
this?
By constant visions of an assassin sent.
Who is this? I'm getting some elf vibes here, and I don't like it. He might not be an elf, but his face. I don't like his face.
To murder him by his own father. Lorgar was born on a world of chaos worshippers with abusive parents, and the Emperor decided the best way to reprimand him was destroy his holy city. The Emperor robbed Mortarion of vengeance and suppressed Magnus.
He
at
will
every
eat you?
turn.
I knew
The
he was
question
bad.
isn't why the Primarchs rebelled. The question is, why didn't they sooner? To them, they are not the betrayers. They are the betrayed. They were under the boot of a golden tyrant, and they finally could be free from his heel. Of course, things have changed a lot since
Whoa!
the Heresy, and the Primarchs of the Chaos Space Marines
Whoa!
that fall are a twisted variant of what they used to be. They have all, for the most part, ascended to the position of
Does anyone want to hang on that thing? The tusks.
demon prince and act as a direct connection between their god and their legion. However, due to the nature of the transformation and dedication to a particular chaos god, their actions tend to be separate from their legion's actions. Fulgrim, for example, is so infatuated with being a demon
Fulgrim.
princess.
Oh my goodness, it's literally Prince Lotor. It's Prince Lotor, y'all.
Slanesh, that he is at times far too focused on his own personal perfection as opposed to conquest and sitting around like Frankfurter on his throne. Meanwhile, Lorgar is being stalked by a bird, so he's always on
Lorgar.
edge. The most adamant against the temptations of the Chaos Gods, Perturabo, was
Fulgrim? I like the design of Fulgrim. Wait, does anyone know who I'm talking about when I say Prince Lotor, or is this just a Lulu thing?
even made a demon prince
Any people know what Voltron is?
as a reward for being the one who did the most work on the group project. Chaos Space Marines are a fascinating faction because there is a great deal of cognitive dissonance that is represented in them. Depending on which faction you follow, your devotion to chaos is a sliding scale,
Whoa.
and the representation in the universe is so varied. Some are there to reap
Well, technically, yeah, Netflix Voltron. There's also the 80s Voltron.
high tally of kills for their patron deity, while others are there purely to destroy
Whoa, okay,
the
wait.
Imperium who wronged
I like
them.
this
Some
guy.
are there to torture and maim, and some are there to
I like the
conquest
art of
and
this guy.
conquer. There is no unifying glue. They fight each other as much as they fight everyone else, and their machinations are entirely up to their warband. You have all walked different paths, but together,
Wait, it's Twitch broken? Wait, you're right. Wait, Twitch. Say one. Say one in chat. I don't see anyone from Twitch. Okay, I'll meet a few people. It works? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What the heck?
we have come to the
Okay.
same destination. The Emperor has failed us. The Imperium has failed us all. It has failed us by the laxity of its laws, the decadence of its culture.
Okay, I'm gonna say something heretical, but I get where the Chaos Marines are coming from. Call me a heretic, but I understand why the Chaos Marines think they were wronged. No faction question is perfect. Okay.
And in the injustices heaped upon those of us who serve the most loyally. It has failed us by never recognizing our virtues, never rewarding us for the blood we shed and bringing about its ascendancy, and never providing unity when we needed it most. It has failed us by being flawed to its core, imperfect in its pursuit of a perfect culture, and in its weakness against the encroachment of Xenos breeds that seek to twist humanity to alien ends. And it has failed us, most of all, by being founded upon lies. The Imperium is forged by a dangerous destiny and erodes us all by demanding we sacrifice truth on the altar of necessity. This is an empire propagated by sin that deserves to die. And here on Isstvan 5, we begin the purge. From these ashes shall rise the new kingdom of mankind, an Imperium of justice, faith, and enlightenment. An Imperium heralded, commanded, and protected by the avatars of the gods themselves. An empire strong enough to stand through a future of blood and fire.
I have a question about the Chaos Marines. So, if they got rid of the Imperium of Man, or took over the Imperium of Man, would there still be the slaves? Like the people that were, I guess, mutated? They're still okay. Okay.
Naturally, however, as I have said before, Space Marines do not make up the bulk of the fighting force in the Imperium, so it would be ludicrous for me to not mention their dark cousins. The Code Chivalry is the sign of the power of the Imperial Knights. But what about
the dark mechan... Oh my goodness, wait! The evil versions of the guys who have a thing for... the mechanical stuff.
During the Horus Heresy extended beyond just the Space Marines and the Primarchs. Mars itself was subject to a revolution that saw half of them fall
the
to
Mechanus
Chaos
Adeptus.
And some of the once loyal knight houses saw themselves swearing fealty to the dark gods.
The heretics.
The falling of these factions allows for the war machine of chaos to continue uninterrupted and to have firepower equal to that of the Imperium itself. The Dark Mechanicum, as the name suggests, is the chaos affiliated branch of the Mechanicus, and have a lot more free reign.
They want a Mechanicum.
Much like the freedoms of
I'm sorry.
Chaos Space Marines. The seeds of the Dark Mechanicum were planted fairly early due to some of the Mechanicum not really seeing the Emperor as the Omnissiah immediately, and Horus exploited this to allow the schism to happen a bit more naturally. Unlike their Imperial brothers, the Dark Mechanicum have the ability to invent and innovate. What a concept. While also utilizing forbidden technologies such as the Silica Animus or AI. The Dark Mechanicum do have...
Why does it say I'm 25% of the way to completing my goal? What is going on? Did people subscribe? Twitch, did anything pop up saying people are subscribing? 3 out of 10 new sub goal? Has anyone subscribed on Twitch and I just can't see it?
Their own desires to find lost technologies and put them to use, but they're more interested in taking ancient and forbidden technology from Imperial worlds and activating them.
Thank you for subscribing, resubscribing, Greeny.
For their own purposes. Because what good is a bunch of knob and tube wiring if you don't overload it with as many extension cords as possible? However, instead of being clear-cut and more generalized creations, the inventions of the Dark Mechanicum are inherently tied with the warp and its demons. Genetic experimentation...
Oh, wait, that's so cruel.
Modification, the fusion of man and machine are exceptionally common, and no creation is more reflective of this than the demon engines. Instead of regular tanks and vehicles, the demon engines are machines bound with the presence of demons to make them living war machines. Unlike the vehicles of the Imperium, where a Mechanicus priest may be there to aid in its repair,
Demon
a
techno.
warpsmith sorcerer is there to essentially repair and irritate the demon engine so that it can be a more effective killing machine. In certain factions, like the bitter and siege-loving Iron Warriors, they will lure demons with the promise of glory and easy bloodletting, only to then forcibly trap them into these demonic engines to use as weapons of war against the Imperium. Some lesser
That's
gods,
crazy.
like Vashtor the Archifane, is also a contract.
Can they do that to just Slanesh? Can we just trap Slanesh demons? Thank you.
An arms dealer for the demonic stuff. that
Don't
comes
do
out
it to
of chaos.
Korn.
Many demons may sign a pact
Demons.
with Vashtor in the soul forges of the warp, and in doing so are given the weapons of war to kill as much as they can. Should they do so, excellent, you may keep it. Should you not, I hope you enjoy your soul working in the forges for all eternity. That's what you signed with blood and oil. In addition, much like their ties in the Loyalist realm, the Dark Mechanicum and the Chaos Knight houses are deeply intertwined. There were, of course, many Knight houses that swore fealty and bent the knee to War Master Horus during the heresy, but a good portion of them had no choice, as they were absorbed by warp storms and corrupted into compliance. Many of these Chaos Knights reflect the very early Dark Age technology Knights with more corrupted weapons. The Throne Mechanicum,
The
which
weapons are
once
cool
had a
though.
global sitting and taking control of generations of previous drivers and taming a beast, is now a saddle to a monstrosity of wrath and hatred. The nobles of the Chaos Knights fight to aggravate and bring the machine to their will while combating the corrupted minds of their fallen ancestors. Some of these nobles may do such a good job that they themselves fuse into the throne itself and become one with the knight. If a noble dies, no worries at all. Unlike the Imperial ones that require a pilot, a demon can hop into the cockpit and control it instead. The Night Worlds also see full corruption as well. Where there were once peasants, there are now
Are these the figurines? Is this what they look like? They look so cruel. Anyways.
cultists, and the goal of the Chaos Knights are just as chaotic as the gods they follow. Some are sent to war by the ruinous powers. Others
Look at how detailed it is. How are you supposed to paint that without messing up? I can't even paint my nails without getting nail polish on the side.
may protect Dark Mechanicum Forge worlds, and others still may be so hyped up on the ruinous powers that they are just aimless and reckless, hoping to unravel the fabric of the universe itself. Though the aspect of nobility is still there with the Chaos Knight, but it's hardly the same as it is on the Imperial side. As opposed to a beautiful knightly stallion, the knights here are horrifying and unpredictable monstrosities, fueled in part by the agony of the memories.
They're actually showing them being painted. Okay, I should tell you a story. Sorry, I'm pausing it and talking. But there was a story of this girlfriend. She had a boyfriend that was like super into Warhammer, and he painted a bunch of minis. And she asked him to paint her nails. And she said that he painted them so perfectly because he was so good at painting Warhammer figures.
Of the ancestors trapped within. An invasion by a house of Chaos Knights is a horrifying thing. One might ask, how do knights enter the battlefield? Normally they can be deployed via dropships the standard way, but Imperial Knights can be deployed with a drop keep. A gigantic knight keep with like towers and stuff will hurtle towards the surface like a drop pod and be slammed into the ground with an excessively thunderous crash. Then, massive drawbridges slam down, banners unfurl, and huge horns play the song of their people as these lumbering robots charge on their again, drop keep to fight
I like the medieval vibes here.
for the Imperium. So imagine what a warp-fueled version of this could look like.
Awesome!
If you get the opportunity, you should kill yourself.
Chaos Knights have such a presence, the warp fluctuates in their tread. They bring doom, dread, and despair across the battlefield.
15 signs you're a yogurt male. Super rare. This is better than alpha. Are you a
Warp
yogurt?
storms occur overhead, and psychic phenomenon cling to them. A Chaos Knight will arrive either in some warp-debased platform, or perhaps a portal itself, or climb out of a pool of blood. As the air gets heavy, the enemy feels a crippling sense of paranoia, and the sky begins to rain blood, acid, and God knows what else.
Oh.
The horrors of the warp have resulted in a dramatic change in technology in the favor of their forces.
I learned that last stream. You can't sail the 7 seas on the warp, or you can't jump into the ocean, or you die.
Though in practice, it is a horror beyond comprehension, their baseline desires don't seem that radical on paper. They are creative builders, working to innovate and improve technology while
this sounds
utilizing
cool.
anything they can to accomplish their STEM goals. Looking at the dark forces of chaos and the Emperor now on his golden throne, humanity is fractured. The Emperor himself is the guiding light for warp travel for humanity, and in being that exists as a beacon for the entire species. Without him, things would get somehow worse. Therefore, he needs his protectors. Where a Thunder Warrior wasn't enough for his armies, and half of his Space Marines turned traitor, the Emperor's personal bodyguards are something else entirely. They are not the fallible Astartes, nor are they a nightmarish concoction of organs and indoctrination.
I know
They are
these
built
guys.
and gene-crafted, with science bordering on magic.
These guys
They number
have the
10,000
cool
strong,
Spartan
and each of
hats.
them is a hero. They are the
Adeptus Custodes.
Rare is the
Yeah.
battle where an Emperor's custodians outnumber our foes. We are ever beset, surrounded upon all sides by heresy and foulness, just
Yeah, the
as is
banana
Terra
boys.
itself. Yet, like the throne world, we stand resolute, indefatigable, indomitable. Let the enemy come. Let them darken the horizon with their numbers. Still, we will prevail. Though the Emperor sits rotting on the golden throne, his talons remain sharp. The Talons of the Emperor was the name given to the most elite forces at his disposal. The left hand of his
Custodes.
talons comes in the form of the Sisters of Silence, psychic blanks that scour the
Oh
galaxy.
yes, the Sisters of
souls
Silence.
Fuel the astronaut.
They remind me of the guy from Avatar: The Last Airbender, Zuko.
In the form of the Great Tide. 1,000 psychers sacrificed daily to keep the Emperor of Mankind alive, dragged into the black ships of the Silent Sisterhood. The right hand of the Emperor's protectorate, his golden bodyguards that serve him, and
I really
only
like
him.
the design
These
of
are the
these.
custodians. While the members of the
Like, this is... It reminds me of a little bit of the Eldar, but a bajillion times better because they just look so much cooler.
Space Marines went out to
Howdy.
take back the galaxy, the Legio Custodes stood back and kept a close watch over the Emperor himself. The Custodes are, in a sense, similar to Space Marines in that they are genetically modified super soldiers clad in power armor, but that is where the similarities stop. Their genetic makeup seems to be made from the Emperor himself, or at least something quite close. And the
Okay,
precision
interesting.
of their creation predates the development of the Space Marines and even the Primarchs. Unlike Space Marine recruitment, where there's a process undertaken when a subject is at least somewhat grown, a custodian's process begins at infancy. The methods in which they are made are a secret, but what is known is that at the very beginning, each custodian was made by the Emperor himself. Regardless of the biochemical process, the
So how do you make more? Can you not make more? Is there just like a set number of custodians?
process is exceptionally long and grueling, and only a handful of selected aspirants make it
Listen,
to the
gold
end.
can go with
Those
anything.
that do are clad in the most regal and effective armor in the Imperium. Commonly, a custodian is seen carrying a guardian spear, an utterly yoked up version of the staves the Praetorian Guards of the Emperor in Star Wars had. They are also clad with specific shields and blades, but the most interesting thing with all of their gear is that due to the meticulous and dedicated maintenance and preservation of their
It reminds me of elf armor from Elder Scrolls.
armor and gear, these items are the same ones they used 10,000 years ago. The custodians do not age biologically, so some of the veterans in the guard may
Wait, I wouldn't be a custodian.
old. And unlike the Space Marines, they fight entirely
I don't
as a
wanna
solo
age.
force. When a line of custodians is holding back waves of enemies, they operate independently. There are no battle
Dwarven
formations,
too,
there
yeah.
are no squad tactics. Each custodian is the main character, trailed by serfs and servitors, tasked entirely to reload their weapons. They fight with a singular purpose, if not action. Groups of custodians will dispatch enemy after enemy, their spears coming within inches.
It's the color. It's the color. The Dwemer, like heavy armor, looks more like this. You reminded me of Dwemer. Thank you for the super chat. Originally, Big E made them, but now they are created by existing custodes by taking young infants of Terra Nobles with their secret method. Big E. I don't know if I like Mr. Big E. Anyways.
Of each other, but never close enough for a killing blow. Their strikes are intentionally defensive, allowing their opponents to attack 1 to 2 times before parrying and ending their lives. Each strike deflected is an opportunity to know
Why
their
are we
enemy
ending
more
our
and
lives?
learn from their patterns.
They're so
They are
cool.
truly the Emperor's bodyguards, masters of close combat, enemy knowledge, and reactions measured in milliseconds.
Oh, they talking about the enemy. I thought they meant like they were offing themselves. I'm gonna kill myself.
Though the custodians are a part of the Adeptus Terra, the members of the Guard only answer to their own leadership and the Emperor himself. The leader of the custodians is known as the Captain
In
General,
Minecraft.
and individual squads of custodians are overseen by a shield captain. As their focus is on the Emperor, their command center is located within the Imperial Palace. The Tower of Hegemon serves as their primary base of operations, but there is a dedicated elite guard of custodians known as the Companions that stands 300 strong by the Emperor's side. In total, the custodians are 10,000
Only 300?
strong, and when a member retires,
10,000.
their name is added to the Hall of Name and vanish across the galaxy in a cloaked disguise to serve as eyes and ears for the Imperium. Despite their numbers and their strength, the members of the custodians do not consider themselves to be soldiers or warriors.
The blade on that weapon reminds me of another Elder Scrolls weapon.
in any way. They see themselves strictly as the guardians of the Emperor in all facets.
These
of
guys
his
are really
presence.
cool.
This extends beyond the physical. Custodians believe they represent
Look at that vehicle. Oh, it's, yeah, glass. The glass weapons.
the guarding of the Emperor's ideals and philosophies too. Their gains are both physical and
looks so
literary. They are
cool.
the protectorates of everything the Emperor stood for, and in doing so, the custodians are also artisans and scholars, in addition to being the Golden Guard. of the
What?
Golden.
So they're strong. Artists and scholars. What can these guys not do?
Throne. However, due to this nature of being protectorates, they have a very strong view when it comes to the Space Marines and the Primarchs. The Emperor
Wait, did he say that and I just missed it? They can't reproduce? Okay, question. Would you rather be good at fighting, good at art, good at school, or being super smart? Or, okay, you have all that, but you can't reproduce or, you know, enjoy the devil's tango.
himself had insinuated many times that once the galaxy was brought to heel, that there would be no need for the Space Marines anymore, and they were to go the same way that the Thunder Warriors went before them. The Custodians were meant to be the judge, jury, and executioner of this will, and are biologically designed not only to be able to take down Space Marine with ease, but to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Primarch as well. During the Heresy, the Custodians mused on how suspiciously easy
They can go
it was to
toe-to-toe
kill
with the
Chaos
Primarch.
Space Marines, as if they were trained and made for that explicit purpose. Constantine Valdor, one of the closest advisors of the Emperor, was
Oh my goodness, it just clicked in my head. Like, their whole aesthetic is like Rome, and his name's Constantine? Awesome.
asked if he ever disagreed with Big E on something, and he said once, with the formation of the Primarchs.
I feel I do my best, but they don't.
Let me ask you a very fair question. What do you do successfully? Quickly.
Yeah, tell us. Nothing! That's what I thought!
I hate that every time we're in Untucked, the conversations are about me.
And besides the trained distrust for Space Marines, the Custodians also have evidence for their distrust. The Horus Heresy saw half of the chapters fall to chaos and turn traitor against the Emperor. In the mind of a Custodian, the fact that half of the Space Marines fell before means that the other half can fall with ease. They are fully capable of wiping out literally
Fight the
any
demons.
force put against them, and in a sense are the final representation of the golden age of terror. However, they are forced to stand in silent and blind service to the Emperor and to the ill of the Imperium. And they, for 10,000 years, have stood vigil over the Imperium and have watched its rise and fall
Wow.
with the inability to do anything
They can't age or anything, so some of these guys are 10,000 years old.
about it. While they do go out and fight some
What would
battles
life be
here and
like
there, at the end of the day, the vastness of the
as a
Imperium means that the
10,000-year-old
closest
being?
advisors to the Emperor himself are powerless to make any change. But goddamn, can they kill a Space Marine? For 100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis. I was still as a statue, but always ready, always attuned to dangers unseen. Days, months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within, little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years, I did not but wait, yet had any threat appeared, I would have struck it down in a heartbeat.
Aw.
For 100 years, I stood my watch, and as it ends, I can tell you this: patience is a weapon.
So true. Sometimes you don't even have to do anything. Sometimes patience can be the best weapon, the best vengeance. Anyways,
Of course, a threat directly to Terra itself would appear to be something foolish. It's in the deepest parts of Imperial space and is one of the most defended bastions in the galaxy. You truly have to be foolhardy or insane to think that you can take on Terra itself. However, one faction certainly got close. In the dark ages of the stars and in a river of misery, there is one faction having a cracking old time. The galaxy sees them as savages, yet they have already figured out the questions of the universe. Their numbers are uncountable, their technology incomprehensible, and yet their violence is so very green. I am, of course,
Green.
talking about the
Orcs!
The orcs are the pinnacle of creation. For them, the great struggle is won. They have evolved a society which knows no stress.
Yes,
or
finally,
angst.
finally
Who are
we're here.
we to judge them? We Eldar who have failed, or the humans on the road to ruin in their turn? And why?
Eldar's talking, I sleep.
Because we saw answers to questions that an orc wouldn't even bother to ask. We see a culture that is strong and despise it as crude. During the war in heaven, the old ones were doing their best to spawn as mmany combatants to their cult.
This is not an orc. Why? I don't want to look at the Eldar when this is the orc section.
Pause is possible. possible by seeding the galaxy in a specialized sense. The Eldar were made to be a precise and tactical species to fight off the Catan and the Necrons, but another prominent species was made by them as well.
Yeah!
The Krork
Oh, but look at
were
the Chad
warriors clad in
orc.
ornate armor with more dangerous weaponry. However, things changed.
Look at him.
And these warriors changed. And the Krork are no more. They are now known as the boys, the lads,
The boys.
the mates, the orcs. An orc in 40k looks like an orc in most other fantasy media. Hulking, warlike monstrosities with big teeth and worse attitudes. However, unlike the more Tolkien-esque forms of these creatures, the devastating nature of the orcs is in their biology. Unlike most species in the galaxy, the orcs are actually a type of fungus. This fungus itself comes in various forms. The small goblin-like Gretchen and Snotlings are a part of this fungal ecosystem as well, and also the Squigs, which can be used for basically anything. But regardless of what is a part of the fungal system, all of them are born from spores. That
British? Dropped. I'm kidding.
grow. As they travel around the galaxy, they drop spores literally everywhere. And then an orc dies, and they drop
As long as they aren't French.
tons of fungal spores that allows for their numbers to be replenished over a period of time. Because of this, orcs are not only extremely prominent across the galaxy, but they are exceptionally resilient due to their growing cycle. Even if one orc lands on a planet, it will be nearly impossible to get rid of all
Wait, this
of the
art
orcs
is
present
cute.
unless the planet itself is completely destroyed. And even then, they might find a way to survive. Due to their fungal nature, orcs don't really stop growing. And the more long-lived an orc is, the bigger they get. And the more an orc fights, the bigger they get.
Don't they fight each
Of
other?
course, since they're constantly getting into scraps, an orc's lifespan isn't necessarily that long, so the bigger orcs are harder to find. Though alongside this, however, they are a tribe-based species that is comprised of war bands, and the biggest
Me orc, me fight. Ah! I'm gonna fight you, Lasso. Huh, huh, huh.
and the strongest orc leads the warband known as the War Boss. At the bottom end of the orc tribal system are the Gretchens and the Snotlings. These members act as the servants and slaves of the orcs, and sometimes their actual ammunition, despite being a bit smarter and more cunning than their bigger brethren. Because in orc culture, the biggest is the boss. The smallest gets picked on and thrown around. Beyond the war bands and the tribes, orcs also belong to a specific
I'm the
clan.
boss.
Tribes constantly shatter and rebuild, but the clans do not. They are, in a sense, a psychological state of being for any given orc, and gives an orc their specific character and traits. And to make things easier, these clans are also color-coded, so that's very easy to tell what orc does what. Though there are many clans out there, 6 of them are the most prominent and well-known. The bad
I
Moons
love
are
the
essentially the
colors.
merchants and have a lot of money because their currency is teeth, and they grow teeth faster than any others. The Blood Axe
Thank you for the super chat. Orcs possibly have the largest population in the galaxy. The only reason they haven't won is because they're dumb and constantly kill each other. Well, it's 'cause they're like a fungus, right? They grow very fast.
are the stealth units, and by stealth it means like slightly more quiet than the others, and they have a love for LARPing as humies. Death Skulls are the scavengers, and the Goths are the close combat specialists. And on the two ends of the spectrum, we also have the tech
Oh
savvy
my
Evil
gosh.
Sons and the more traditionalist and tribal snakebites. Another major facet of orcs is their religious beliefs. They believe in 2 gods, Gork and Mork. Gork is cunningly brutal, and Mork is brutally cunning. The difference between them, according to orcs, is that Mork hits you when you aren't looking, and Gork hits you when you are. There's a
So
lot of
Gork hits you. Wait. Gork hits you when you are. Oh my goodness, this visual is messing with my brain because it's opposite. Gork good, Mork bad. Also, thank you for the sub. Yeah! Gork is brittle but cunning, and Mork cunning but brutal. What? The one that it hits you
confusion as to
when you
which
are
one
looking is
which,
better.
and this results in a lot of infighting. In other species, this would be considered a sort of religious conflict, but for the orcs, it's just another excuse to fight. I have a quote here, but I don't really do a good orc voice. So I'm going.
If I was an orc, I'd be on the side of hitting you when you're looking.
I'm going to get my co-host of That's Ridiculous to read this one, and I'll try to lip sync it.
Why are you telling me to rewind a few seconds?
Voice. So that's very easy to tell what orc does what. Though there are many clans out there, 6 of them are the most prominent and well known. The Bad Moons are essentially the merchants and have a lot of money because their currency is teeth, and they grow teeth faster than any others. The Blood Axes are the stealth units, and by stealth it means like slightly more quiet than the others, and they have a love for LARPing as humies. Death Skulls are the scavengers, and the Goths are the close combat specialists. And on the 2 ends of the spectrum, we also have the tech-savvy Evil Sons and the more traditional...
I don't want to say what each one reminds me of because I don't want to be wrong. I feel like that would be kind of bad.
...and tribal snake bites. Another major facet...
Why did a VTuber toe sucker just follow me? Someone just followed me on Twitch named VTuber Toe Sucker. Did I ring the cowbell for Oakbing? I'm gonna ring it again. I don't remember. I'm too distracted by these orcs.
...of orcs is their religious beliefs. They believe in 2 gods, Gork and Mork.
Gork and Mork!
Is cunningly brutal, and Mork is brutally cunning. The difference between them, according to orcs, is that Mork hits you when you aren't looking, and Gork hits you when you are. There's a lot of confusion as to
hits you when you are,
and
so
this results in a lot
good.
of infighting. In other species, this would be considered a sort of religious conflict, but for the orcs, it's just another excuse to fight. I have a quote here, but I don't really do a good orc voice. So I'm going to get my co-host of That's Ridiculous to read this one, and I'll try to lip sync it.
Oh, he's more cunning in a grot and more...
I hate it. Is that what they sound like?
Killing in a dread. The boys that follow me can't be beat. On Piscina, we jumped the marine force, and our boss pole was covered in the helmets we took from the dead ends. We burned their port and killed their bosses and left nothing but ruins behind. I'm Warlord Gezgul Mac Urukdraka, and I speak with the word of the gods. We's gonna...
I will say that this one so far I understand. I understand these orc guys.
Stop the universe flat and kill anything what fights back. We's gonna do this cause we're orcs.
Yeah.
And we was made to fight and win.
It's good. This fucking sounds terrible.
Awesome.
Fighting is the biggest aspect of orc.
You're right, they do
and
have
it's
British
essentially
teeth.
their life's purpose. They are genetically hardwired to get into battles and scraps with enemies that can feel pain. The more they fight, the bigger they get. This, combined with them getting bigger over time, means that some of the biggest and baddest orcs of all time have been notably gigantic. The Beast, as he was known, was by the size of an imperial knight. If an orc runs out of other enemies to fight, they will immediately start infighting to scratch the battle itch. For example, in The Warp, a planet exists where a band of orcs are in a constant state of war and battle, and have been for an improbably long amount of time, strictly because how much Korn enjoys himself watching it. For some, being trapped in a perpetual war planet for all eternity would be a fate worse than death, but to the boys, this is heaven. In the event of a particularly big battle, a massive amount of tribes and war bands will unite under what is known as the Wa. The concept of a Wa covers a few bases. The first is the group aspect of the massive green tidal wave of orcs fighting for the same cause, the cause being the second base. But the most prominent aspect of the Wa is the psychic aspect.
The Wa.
Remember how the old ones made the Eldar and all the Eldar are psychic? Well, the orcs are too, kinda, but just not as much. Only a little bit of it. And they often don't know how to use it and frankly don't care. But a huge gathering of orcs generates a psychic field that allows orcs to be more organized, dangerous, and dedicated to the war.
Would you be in my LULULASSO? Would you be my wah?
base cause. However, the true extent of the psychic energy and its usage is relatively unknown, but that doesn't matter considering the outcome 90% of the time. In a similar sense, their ragtag technology and weaponry is also a mystery to most who encounter it purely because of that Wa energy. The technology the orcs use seem to be held together with duct tape and plastic glue, and crude doesn't even begin to describe it. Their guns seem to have an
the
inordinate
orcs that
amount
wear
of
cowboy
ammunition and
hats.
firepower, and they are seemingly able to put things together on the fly in the middle of combat. The Imperium is of the mind that the orcs' weapons and machinery only work due to their innate psychic ability, but realistically, orc gear hardly works in the first place. Weapons blow up in a Bugs Bunny-esque manner all the time, and their war buggies can collapse in the middle of battle.
Oh my
Just because
goodness.
it works a handful of times
That looks awesome.
does not mean it's an
What if there was an orc kart racing game?
effective weapon. But this doesn't stop the orcs
Where
and
you
their
fight
green
each other.
tide. To really understand the power of the Wa energy, orcs can operate purely off of belief. Now, a misconception is that orcs believe something is real and it happens. But that isn't true, because that's just one orc. However, there's never one orc. There's normally a few billion orcs together, and if they all believe something is true, the warp will tend to respond with a positive green light.
Ooh.
Sometimes. Do the red ones go faster? Well, with enough orcs, yeah. How does an orc buggy with an engine block that's just a boulder with vroom vroom written in chalk work?
SpongeBob
Who cares?
reference.
Orcs breathing on a ship with a hull breach? Go ahead. An orc went back in time to kill a version of himself so he could have two of his favorite weapons. It is shenanigans. Because of their actions and aesthetic, the orcs tend
That's
to be
awesome,
presented
though.
in a comic relief
Wait,
sense
did he
of
cease to exist?
particularly the media from their perspective. They are bumbling and loud and goofy British football hooligans, and they say silly things and act in silly ways. But to the citizens of the Imperium, the orcs are far from funny. They are violent and irrational creatures that take humans for punching bags, slaves, or ultimately dinner. They have no moral compass and
They
are
eat
violent and
people.
brutal killers that know nothing else. They are genetically designed to be a violent species that was capable of beating back the Necrons and the Catan. And if the orcs were ever able to unify under one banner, they would be utterly unstoppable. However, due to their aggressive nature, their organizational skills are non-existent, and they tend to just beat each other up for the fun of it. All that exists in the mind of an orc is fighting, and nothing else. If they wipe out their enemies, they will inevitably wipe themselves out as well. They are a brutal Ouroboros doomed to an endless war cycle, but to an orc, why does it matter? If they fight
True.
and they win, they win. If they fight and they die, it was a good fight. Now that the Xenos armies are growing in strength and more are threatening the safety of the Imperium, they need to
Thank you for the super chat. He still exists because orcs don't have a concept of time paradoxes, so he simply was willed into existence just by offing his past self. Interesting. Well, it's an orc, so time paradoxes don't exist then, I guess. So in the tabletop game, I heard that everything is RNG when you play orcs. So if you roll good, you are unstoppable.
bring new methods in order to handle what they are currently facing. The Emperor is on the Golden Throne. Half the Space Marines are traitor, and they are beset from enemies within and without. So now the Lords on Terra must prepare for anything possible, and sometimes the impossible. For that, they take to the stars to explore and expand. They recruit assassins for priority eliminations, they train a galactic police force and a secret police to root out any and all heresy. The lesser known, yet most feared,
Agents of the Imperium!
I carry with me an inquisitorial seal. It is a small, unassuming object contained in a neat box of Pluvian obsidian.
Inquisitorial
It is a modest thing, relatively
seal.
plain, adorned with
Is this where the Inquisitors are? Yeah, I think
a
this is where the
single motif
Inquisitors
and
are.
a simple motto. Yet with this little object, I can sign the death warrant of
Inquisition.
the entire world and can sign a
These guys
billion
have
souls
really
to
cool
oblivion,
outfits.
where the Imperium may see its justice dealt
What is this animation? Is this like a whole movie that I need to watch?
out by the hands of its armies and the gauntlets of its Astartes. When one needs eyes, ears,
Oh
or
my
both
gosh.
cut out, it looks to the agents of the Imperium. In a menace,
Please tell me there's this animated series, or is this not an animated series? Game? Ah, darn it! Warhammer Plus show?
sense, these agents are a homogenized version of multiple factions from the original video 5 years ago. They comprise multiple aspects of the wide and all-encompassing armies of humanity and serve different roles. Whether it be the law enforcers of the Adeptus Arbites, the void-faring explorers of rogue traders, the invisible hand of the Assassinorum, or the
Oh
hospitality of the
yeah.
Emperor's Inquisition. Each has a part to play in the
Oh,
God
the Inquisition looks so
Rogue
cool.
traders are a great
I like
example
them.
of a somewhat undiscussed part of the Imperium, its nobility. While you may see the General Imperium as a totalitarian
What is this? What is this background? Why does the animation look so good?
hellscape, because it is, this is to those under the boot of the nobles that run it. Rogue traders are a special kind of explorer.
Rogue
And
trader?
their existence is extremely important to the function of the Imperium. A rogue trader is often an extremely special individual
Oh
and
my.
is given the monumentally sized
Wait,
warrant,
she looks so
allowing them
cool.
to be given almost complete and utter freedom. Their task is simple: to chart the uncharted, learn the unlearned, and do whatever they can as an explorer and conquistador. for
Should I
those
play
back
Rogue
on
Trader
Terra. This
too?
information is, strictly speaking, invaluable. Whether a sector can be settled and colonies built, or precious rare resources exist on a floating asteroid can be mined, or a long-lost Imperial world from the Age of Strife is recovered, it's all absolutely imperative.
Oh
These
my
rogue traders
gosh.
are faster than any other kind of Imperial armada, and therefore chart the direction of the entire
It's so
society. Because
beautiful.
of this, rogue traders are given a substantial
Mother. Right, I like her. I like her outfit. The drip is on point. Look at the tassels.
amount of
I have
freedom.
tassels
They
too.
have a ship and a crew of specialists and can do things that would see any normal person shot. They can barter deals and even recruit Xenos races. They can explore areas strictly prohibited, and they can earn a vast amount of wealth and riches in doing so. This tends to make rogue traders a very long lineage, and their heirs take up the mantle of their
Wow.
house. By being explorers, they become
They're dressed so
fabulously
clean.
wealthy, and some can become quite the assholes while doing so. But truly,
Yeah, I heard people say like the Inquisition and these guys are very stuck up. Nidya, thank you for the 100 bits. Here's a piece of paper that says I can do whatever the fuck I want. True. Truth to nuke.
much like a night pilot, a rogue trader is an exceptionally rich individual who can back it up. They are master swordsmen, explorers, merchants, settlers, diplomats, and everything in between. They chart a course, and they set the ground, which means they will need someone to defend them, and the prime choice for that can be the Adeptus Arbites. Now, the Arbites are cops, Judge Dredd-style cops, as their inspiration clearly shows.
Yeah.
Each planet will have their own members of local law enforcement, and most of them will settle many of the issues there and then. But when something requires a far more in-depth peacekeeping force, the Adeptus Arbites are brought in. Think local police versus the FBI. Arbitrators in the Arbites tend to focus heavily on stopping crime before it can
I'm gonna say something heretical, but this lady reminds me of that one girl from Wreck-It Ralph. The Call of Duty game. You're one dynamite gal.
become too much of a threat. A criminal gang or heretical uprising can be subdued quickly and efficiently by utilizing them and dealing with soon-to-be criminals, as they put it. They will tap into communications, create spy networks, do interrogations and sabotage, anything that helps the good of the Imperium and the law they seek to preserve. The Code of the Arbites is laid out entirely via the Book of Judgment, a gigantic library of pages showing every single law from every single High Lord of Terra in the history of the Imperium. Because the Imperium is so vast, hundreds of laws are added every single day, and the library continues to grow.
Everyone say hi to the Catholic bookshelf.
With more and more laws and judgments. While Arbites themselves carry a small version called the Book of Law on their person, this does end up creating a system where the unjustly prosecuted will never escape their prisons. If an innocent is wrongly convicted, any form of legal counsel will need to go through the Book of Judgment to help get you out. Often these prisoners require hundreds of years of litigation, in which they will eventually expire before they can be deemed wrongly convicted. Innocence is irrelevant. You have been judged guilty of transgressing the Lex Imperialis. Do not compound your guilt by evading punishment, as there are greater crimes, so are there greater sentences. Of course, should something go out of the hands of
I like this photo. I like this art.
the Adeptus Arbites, there is always the silent hand of the Officio Assassinorum in their place. Naturally, the Imperium has assassins, and these assassins are
I also really like this photo.
to dispatch important figures that would not normally be handled by simply sending waves and waves of guardsmen at it. The Assassinorum is headed by the Grand Master of the Assassinorum, who is a High Lord of Terra and perhaps the shadiest individual in the entire galaxy. At his disposal are multiple types of assassins.
I really like this photo.
Assassins that all specialize in various things. Their training is extreme and absurd. Aspirant children are often subjected to Hunger Games style combat with each other on the ride over to the temple. Then you get low gravity, high pressure, traps, horrendous physical and mental strain, and everything in between. Then their minds are wiped completely and the real fun begins. An Imperial Assassin is nothing to mess around with. They are some of the fastest moving and hardest hitting things the Imperium has at hand and can go toe to toe with Space Marines depending on which temple they are from. Some, like the Vindicares, are master snipers.
Was that not part of the video?
Nothing to mess around with.
I don't know. Is the Discord notifications a part of the video? Because that's not my Discord.
They are some of the fastest moving and hardest.
They are. It is a part of the video.
Specialize in various things. Their training is extreme.
It is a part of the video.
Aspirant children are often subjected to Hunger Games style combat.
It's like popping up IP address. It is driving me insane too, but I already checked my Discord.
They're on the ride over to the temple. Then you get low gravity, high pressure, traps, horrendous.
Do you see this? Whose IP is that? That's not my IP.
Strain and everything in between. Then their minds are wiped completely and the real fun begins. An Imperial Assassin is nothing to mess around with. They are some of the fastest moving and hardest hitting things the Imperium has at hand.
I'm gonna
and can
come
go
to your
toe-to-toe with
house.
Space Marines depending on which temple they are from. Some, like the Vindicares, are master snipers who lie in wait for weeks, days, or even months just to get the perfect headshot from 5 kilometers away and disappear. The Calidus Temple are masters of shape-shifting and take a drug that allows them to transmute their body into whatever they see fit.
Whoa.
A confidant of a target may be killed and they will take their place before killing their target outright. Or they could shift into a member of a Chaos Warband with symbols and flesh and all that to earn the trust of a cult leader before slitting their throat. The
Ooh, they're like a spy.
This assassin is a psychic blank, a soulless mutation, making them appear as uneasy to normal humans and downright disgusting to psychers. When a powerful psyker is causing issues, this is who you send. Their specialized helmet enhances their already latent powers and will allow them to all but drain the souls from those they touch and their very body. It is an extreme weapon used when a direct form of pressure must be applied to an otherwise untouchable psyker. Now, if you needed direct pressure in a more literal way, the Eversor is for you. A drugged up comatose psychopath that is directly dropped on enemy lines and allowed to wreak havoc, killing anything and everything it sees in a
Oh.
blaze of movement and blood before it inevitably dies and causes a plasma explosion on its demise. There are other temples as well. The Vanus Temple, acting as sort of like a cyber hacker. The Venom Temple, specializing in poisons. But all in
I really like this photo too.
all, assassins move with their skin-tight body gloves with a speed unmatched
And
and
skin-tight
force
suit.
unexpected. One of the best assassin
I'd let her kill
novels
me.
puts a Vindicare, Calidus, and Vanus to infiltrate a night world.
So can there be a visual novel of it? Can there be a visual novel? I do like the outfit though.
Kill the High Monarch of the Night, who is permanently stuck in his giant robot knight, install a new ruler in his stead, and make sure nobody knows the Imperium did it. Their missions are insanity, and their tasks
The art is
impossible,
insane.
and they do it anyway. Thus is the power the Assassinorum wields.
I'd let her have power over me. Thank you for the $20 super chat. There's notable Calidus assassin named Mother Gullet, who disguised herself as a caretaker for rebelling planetary governor so she could kidnap his son and hold him hostage. She took him by swallowing him whole. Lulu, have you seen the visor cap asset a lot of VTubers are using? No, I haven't. You should put a link in the Discord. I wish she'd swallow me whole.
We do not determine the guilty, we do not decide the punishment. We are merely the third
Warhammer 40k, my favorite.
instrument of the Emperor's vengeance. There is no form of death unknown to us. There is no form of terror beyond our means. There is no enemy outside our reach. We are the blade that hovers over the throat of the traitor. We are the bullet that awaits the heretic's skull. We are the poison in the throat of the alien. However, despite the prowess
Oh my
of the
gosh.
traitors, the police, and the assassins, there is one that stands
Wait, this
above
guy is
all. As the
awesome.
Imperium settled into its post-Emperor world, they needed a force to root out corruption wherever it could be found. But they needed
Jeez, look at
specialized
the art.
individuals to do so. Men and women who would serve as detectives.
Who is that? What
and
character is that?
executioners. This new secret police would
This guy. Okay, I'll just let it
police
play.
would have unlimited authority, and they would be known as the Inquisition. Inquisitors of the Inquisition are one of the most feared individuals in all of the galaxy for the common members of
Inquisition.
Trained in the most difficult of conditions and mental hardening, they have long closed their minds to the compassion
The drip
of those
is
they
crazy.
Inquisitors are, for the most part, detectives, but they are detectives whose authority is unmatched and actions justified by the state itself. Similar to the KGB, the Gestapo, the Stasi, the OVRA, but unlike those organizations, the Inquisition has far more authority and is one of the only types of individuals who can commit exterminatus, the term used for the
Oh
utter
yes,
and
I
total
know.
destruction of a planet
Exterminatus.
and is no longer deemed usable by the Imperium. While it is a very exciting
It kind of reminds me of the Star Destroyer a little bit.
and a commonly notable thing done in Warhammer, exterminatus is not actually used particularly often. It's a last resort entirely meant to stop the enemy from gaining a major foothold or spread even more corruption. Even with 1 million worlds, the wholesale slaughter of an entire planet is still a massive blow to the Imperium. Inquisitors range quite a bit, not just in how they operate, but also in their personalities. They are often main characters for a large amount of books, as detective noir is a great genre, and they can be the most stone-cold killer or a pragmatic and sympathetic individual depending on who they are. Radical
Aw.
Inquisitors may utilize methods unlike most of the Imperium, such as alien tech
Oh,
or
Death
even
Star.
demon hosts, where
Sorry,
Puritans
the
stick
Death
close
Star.
to the methods of the religious state and shun any deviations. They also specialize in various aspects, as the Inquisition has orders or ordos, such as Xenos for aliens, Malleus for demons, and Hereticus for, you guessed it. Truly, if you are a normal citizen of the Imperium, a person flashing an inquisitorial rosette in front of you may be one of the most terrifying moments of your entire life. It is the same as an
Yeah.
FBI badge or a KGB member, except now you're in Warhammer. So, their authority and tools are are infinite. Agents of the Imperium are vast and offer a ton of different concepts to the world of Warhammer, and they continue to expand as the Emperor's descent into the Golden
Should I get art of me drawn as an Inquisitor?
Throne has lasting effects on humanity. As time progressed, a few people seeing the Emperor as a deity made their voices louder, and over a few thousand years, worship of the Emperor was not only considered expected, but state mandated. This church will be known as the Ecclesiarchy, and there were many who would look to the cardinal position and make desperate grabs at their power, leaving horrid effects on the populace. The age of
She has a whip. I didn't even realize that.
apostasy was a time of reformation in the Imperium that saw its eventual change into an overtly religious empire. During this time, an all-female
Oh my, this woman is the most beautiful woman I've seen in my life. Anyways.
warrior cult to the Emperor called the Daughters of the Emperor were a bit more isolated from the wider Imperium. However, as the Ecclesiarchy began to take root, one Goj Van Dyer became the High Lord of the Administratum and noticed these warriors and felt they could be useful to him. Goj himself told these warriors that he was the voice of the Emperor himself and demanded they fire upon him to prove it. Having a little hidden force field that this warrior cult had never seen before, the bullet bounced off of him and showing him to be unharmed, truly blessed by the Emperor. This cult became known as the Brides of the Emperor and acted as his personal bodyguards and aides. However, Goj Van Dyer was a tyrant, and his horrendous reign spelled ruination for the wider Imperium, which made the Adeptus Custodes take notice. Despite an outright coup and revolt against him, the deadlock was getting steep as the Brides of the Emperor's fierce combat skills kept him safe. One Custodian made contact with the leader of the Brides and brought her into the throne room of the Emperor himself. Nobody knows what transpired in that room, save for Alicia Dominica, the Custodian, and the Emperor himself. However, she left the room with her hair bleached pure white. The interaction marched her battle brides directly to Van Dyer himself and said, "You have committed the ultimate heresy. Not only have you turned your back on the Emperor and stepped from his light, you have profaned his name and almost destroyed everything he has striven to build. You have perverted and twisted the path he has laid for mankind to tread. As your decrees have stated, there can be no mercy for such a crime, no pity for such a criminal. I renounce your lordship. You walk in the darkness and cannot be allowed to live. Your sentence has been long overdue, and it is now time for you to die." Despite not having any time to die, Goj Van Dyer found some time to do so. With his head lopped clean
the
from his
babies,
body,
the flying
the
babies.
Brides of the Emperor were no more, and the Ecclesiarchy signed a document to stop Van Dyer's reign from happening again. They would no longer be allowed to have men under arms. Men.
Men. Sisters of
The Adeptus
Battle!
Sororitas are commonly known as the Sisters of Battle, the nuns with
I like
guns,
the
the
chart.
fighting force of the church. Despite being the main militant faction, the Sisters of Battle, their organization actually is far more diverse than this and have many more nun-based roles for their members. They are organized by various orders with various specialties in mind, such as the
the drip is crazy.
Hospitaller, Dialogus, and Familius, including things like helping with surgical equipment and various other medical stuff, Duolingo, and a poli-sci degree. These orders are
Okay, never mind. I want to get art drawn of me as a Sister of Battle. Do I have to bleach my hair though? Does my hair have to be white?
further separated into smaller orders in an almost Space Marine chapter sense, but tend to have more flexibility due to the nature of their work. And in addition to that, there is flexibility between the orders. It is not uncommon for a member of one of the more battle-hardened orders to switch to a more passive one once they sustain battlefield injuries or are a bit closer to retirement. As mentioned before, the Sisters of Battle are a part of their own separate organization, the Order's Militant, and feature the highest number of any given system. They are the official fighting force of the ecclesiarchy, and they specialize in wars of faith.
Oh,
Unlike the
they're so
deployment of the
cool.
Stars and Guardsmen, the Sisters of Battle are often deployed with members of the Inquisitorial Ordo Hereticus due to the holy war nature of their battles. The Sisters of Battle are suited up with their own form of special
I found this art and I really like this art. I found this art like a while ago. And I was like gonna put this as a thumbnail, but I didn't.
power armor that gives them almost like a Joan of Arc vibe to the battlefield.
Yeah!
Though lacking
That's what I said last time. Like, the first time we watched lore videos, the first lore videos, I said they remind me of Joan of Arc.
the more extreme modifications of a Space Marine's power armor, mainly to the fact that Sisters are, for the most part, regular humans, the power armor of a Sister of Battle almost matches the defensive power of an Astartes, but
It is
with
so
added
cool.
flexibility and versatility in exchange for its strength. Some of the patterns of armor do allow for the enhancing of genetics, but this is far from the norm. This, combined with an arsenal of tanks and vehicles that have literal church organ rocket launchers on them,
Yeah, I remember
really
that
brings
too.
across the holy war vibe in a gothic manner. Accompanying a Sister of Battle in the fields of war is the holy
The aura you have to have, that your rocket launchers are literally church organs. Are they playable? Do they play music as they shoot rockets?
trinity of weaponry: the bolter, the flamer, and the melta. With such a simple loadout, the Sisters of Battle are able to bring down the glorious flames of the Emperor himself, and his holy light shines on them in other ways during a conflict. Hell, even their jump packs evoke angelic imagery as opposed to the more clunky jetpacks, ones that Space Marines have.
Amazing grace, but I shoot rocket launchers at you.
In times of great turmoil or impossibility, a living saint of the sororitas itself might appear on the battlefield surrounded by a litany of doves and cherubs, an almost comical scene of holy glory followed by literal hellfire. The Sisters are a fascinating
Awesome.
organization because they take what is normally seen as a benevolent force
Necron.
and turn it on its head to be a horrifying method of war. Because the Sisters are so zealous, they are nigh impossible to persuade and almost never fall to chaos. In fact, any deviation from the Imperial faith may see you killed outright as you are deemed a heretic, and sometimes Sisters have even less patience than the Inquisition does. To the Adeptus Sororitas, no punishment is too extreme for blasphemy and heretical behavior, whether it's lobotomizing traitors to use as shock troops or attaching them physically to agonizing pain engines so they can die for the Emperor. Anything goes.
Yeah.
The most fascinating part of the Sisters, however, is their faith. We discussed how orcs often make things happen through belief because of their sheer number of them. The Sisters create miracles where they walk. They are not many psychers like orcs, but they are excessively devout and make up for that. Bullets barely miss.
Sisters of Battle have always been my favorite. I think it's just because of the way they look. One of the Warhammer shows did a good episode on how sisters deal with internal heresy. I don't know, maybe I just like characters that are overly religious.
Targets they absolutely should hit. Guns jam, tanks malfunction, enemies slip and fall. The scene from Pulp Fiction is an accurate portrayal of what happens when the Sisters fight.
I'd knock that shit off if I...
Thank you for the super chat, good duck. You'll get used to it and learn the big lore. It took me 4 days to study the lore, and there's still more to go. Plus the stories and wars. Yeah, I've been watching videos, but I probably need to read the books.
Would you?
Oh, it's over. Guys, he rolled bad. He rolled bad. If he rolled a higher score, he would have hit them.
One of the most prominent figures is the Triumph of St. Catherine, a literal open casket with the saint of a sister's order held aloft by lobotomized servant cherubs and protected by bodyguards of
Yeah, that's what all ones is like.
faithful. The devotion to the Emperor
That art is so
strong
cool.
that acts of faith are made manifest, and sometimes angels themselves. When the sisters go to war, they have thundering organs and litanies screeching out into the battlefield, hymns and songs. They rabble off prayers on their lips and burn holy fire across the area. They spray holy water down from horns atop their vehicles. It is a genuine holy war, a procession of death. Saint
Crusades.
Celestine's undying deity, arriving precisely where she is needed and returning to the fold after each death. When she dies, she sees a crying young girl atop a mountain of bones, her bones, after every one of her deaths. She climbs this mountain every time to help comfort this crying child and is rebirthed upon the battlefield. And one day, her deaths
Oh
create a mountain
my.
so large that even she will not be able to traverse it. Is she a demon of the God Emperor? Perhaps, but she'll be shot for saying so.
Wait, that's so cute. She comforts the child.
She is genuinely and literally faith made manifest. Some sisters may make a mistake, however, and find themselves questioning their faith, disobeying a command, and even leaving their order. These sisters are sent for reconditioning and are known
Holy moly.
as the sisters Repentia. They generally face the front of the line
Hi, Repentia.
head-on and seek retribution and forgiveness from the Emperor himself. Though their actions were heretical, Repentia on the fields of battle is an indication of an individual wanting
That
to
was the most
become
beautiful woman I've
They
ever seen.
run aloft with torture devices attached to their bodies and a chain sword the size of their body, completely armorless.
Yet they can still carry it. These women are really strong. And really beautiful.
If this is how they die, or if the Emperor will forgive them.
I can
Even
under...
the most famous champion of the sisters, that same Celestine, was a Repentia.
I can understand... you know, never mind.
Even she
I can't
questions
say
her
that.
faith. And if she can do it, so can you. Just don't run away again. They don't really do third chances. The Sisters of Battle are martyrdom enthused zealots
I can understand why the Emperor liked these girls.
that create miracles in their tread. Their devotion is boundless and also a direct source of their power. A whole army of power-armored soldiers shooting, burning, and melting all in their path is bad enough, but it enters a whole different level when God is on your side. By bolter shell, flamer burst, and melted
Emperor.
blast, the mutant, the heretic, and the traitor alike are cleansed of their sin of existence. So has it been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time.
Oh, he doesn't? Who's the guy that took them and had some unholy relationships with them? With them, I mean. Who's the guy that did that? I mean that guy. I can Goj! I can understand why Goj likes them.
The Imperium devolving into wars of faith is to
Gog.
push its agenda further. Where the xenophobic
I can understand
nature
why
of
the
humanity
evil
was
Pope
once
likes
strong,
him.
It has now been magnified. and there are plenty of aliens in this galaxy. 6,000 years prior to the current events of 40K, a planet was found by an AdMech exploration vessel. The life forms on the planet were seen using tools, but they were still very primitive, so the planet was marked for destruction to pave the way for the Imperial War Machine. However, this was thrown off.
This guy! Gog! Gog likes them, and I can understand his taste.
Because of an extreme warp storm and that whole Doge Van Dyer thing? Flash forward to modern day, and an unknown but highly advanced vessel was shot down near an Imperial mining world, and the bodies on this vessel matched those life forms found on that primitive world. The native creatures on that planet were able to evolve rapidly due to them being unobstructed, and their highly advanced gear posed a new threat to the Imperium. Advancing over these years,
these are the fish guys.
These are the new
right?
upstarts in the galaxy, looking to make a name for themselves, all in the name of the greater good. These are the
Tau.
The alien is not intrinsically evil. Do not hate him. Pity him.
This is a Tau.
Seek to understand his differences and acquaint him with his inadequacies. Only then will he accept his place in the greater good. The early history of the Tau is chaotic at best.
I
Due to
remember
their
these
extreme
guys.
Speed run to space travel, their journey to the stars were overburdened with inner conflict. It wasn't until the appearance of the Ethereals that things began to settle. These Tau to the warring tribes marked their unification under one common belief: the greater good of the
Greater
Tau.
good.
What about the greater good?
How can this be for the greater good?
This system is a caste-based system that seeks to unify and organize the Tau into an effective and
Caste-based.
successful society while working for their mutual benefit. These castes, in order from lowest to highest, are the Fire or Shas caste, which is soldiers, Earth/Theo, which is manufacturers and industrialists, the Water or Hor, being diplomats and traders, and the Air/Kor, being navy officers. Also, you have the Ethereal/Un, which is the lords and leaders of the Tau. Now, unlike
Is that
the paths
E.T.?
of the Eldar, the Tau don't get any say into which caste they're in. It's determined upon birth due to inheritance from a parent. Trying to deviate from your caste or trying to do tasks or even use tools assigned to another caste is a grievous crime against the Ethereals, and those guilty of this crime tend to be sent to re-education camps, which sounds not so good.
Is one caste more poor than the others? Thank you for the super chat. Weeps, cowards. Excuse you, I like anime, okay. But my favorite isn't the Tau. No? Okay. I'm seeing mixed reviews here. Yes, okay, maybe yes. They're equal. Ethereals are more equal, okay.
Greater good, but a greater good than the good that the Imperium sees as greater. The guidance of the greater good also encourages
the Tau don't really stand out to me.
growth of the Empire through the absorption of other races and cultures. The expansion of the Tau Empire is split into spheres of time. So far, there have been 5 spheres of expansion, with a 6th one being planned in the current timeline. The first 2 spheres saw the Tau move beyond their homeworld and settle new planetary systems, known as seps, and absorb multiple races into their ranks. But the 3rd sphere is where we see the Tau interact with the Imperium for the first time, which went about as well as you think it did. The Tau, as mentioned before, are highly advanced compared to some of the other species in the galaxy, and their military tactics are highly precise. Instead of the Imperial methodology of throwing everything at a problem, the Tau carefully assess any battle and take as many precautions as possible. Commonly, you will see a Tau warrior in a heavily modified battle suit with advanced targeting systems. The Tau do not often consider close combat to be something very effective, so they don't really put much stock into it. Their Gundam-like battlesuits have a multitude of functionality, ranging from overwhelming firepower to stealth-based combat, and since they're an upstart species with a bit of technical flair, they have plenty of AI drones that help them in the field of battle. In addition to this, the Tau are also joined in the field of battle by some
No, I'm kidding.
absorbed into the fold of the greater good. These auxiliaries often employ tactics that the Tau are unable to do on their end, such as the brute force and almost primitive nature of the Kroot, combined with the Geonosian aerial shock attack style of the Vespens. But the Tau assimilate more and more species with time, including even some humans who wish to break off from the Imperium for pick a reason. The aesthetic of the Tau also leans a bit more into the East Asian sci-fi aesthetics. The large mech suits definitely evoke that Gundam look, but the general garb of their higher-ups kind of create that motif, and they often have accents in the games that they are in. But while Tau are looked at as Gundam mech faction by some,
I haven't seen a lot of Gundam media. I'm not super familiar with it. But this is not Gundam, but I was super into Voltron. I mean, it's a little
others
close,
enjoy them for the
but not
full
really.
coalition of aliens. One of my favorite images in Warhammer is this official artwork by Games Workshop. Now, not a single one of these aliens are a faction in Warhammer, and yet they all are different species that do exist in this universe. The Milky Way galaxy is vast, and while the Imperium and many others exterminate what they can find, the Tau will assimilate those that can be assimilated. The crew and Vespits we already discussed, and the humans and also Voton will join them at times, but you also have the Galg, the Nigasar, the Vorg, the Thraxian, the Terrellian, Greet, Domati, and many others. Some of these are just one-off lines, and some are major players in the civilization. The Nigasar are, for lack of a better word, gigantic psychic polar bears with bird-like faces. The Tau have psychic bears. And the fact I haven't seen this is a crime. The Tau as a culture
Wait,
are
that's
generally
cool, though.
marred by the various issues that an advanced civilization would have in an unadvanced galaxy. They do.
Is this for the cat girls? Is there like a cat girl one? Is this why y'all are all saying cat girls? I remember last time y'all were talking about cat girls. Was that retconned? Or is that still real? Is that canon?
Don't travel through the warp because of the insane dangers, but instead use a more classic FTL jump. However, because they aren't going through hell, it makes them a lot slower than many other races. The Imperium might surf through hell and lose a few ships, but they will get there first. Often they will take enormous cannons and weaponry and defeat their foes before they can even close the gap. One of their light walkers carried a weapon of lethal effect. It fired a form of ultra-high velocity projectile. I saw one of our tanks after being hit by it. There was a small hole punched in either flank. One, the projectile's entry point, the other, its exit. The tiny munition had passed through the vehicle with such speed that everything within the hole not welded down had been sucked out through the exit hole, including the crew. We never identified their bodies, for all that remained of them was a red stain upon the ground, extending some 20 meters from the wreck. The fascination of the Tau is that in any other modern day world, their society would be horrid. Rigid caste systems, corruption, and politicking ethereals, and basically it's the greater good or nothing at all. But in the world of Warhammer, the simple fact that humans are accepted into their sphere should they please already puts them far and above other races that would murder or eat them. But despite this, the existential dread that is the Tau Empire.
Would they be put in a caste? And which caste would they be put in?
Is ever so apparent. Despite being hyper advanced and welcoming a coalition of aliens, they are the upstarts and they are painfully outnumbered on all sides. Almost any other faction in the universe, given the right amount of force, can wipe out the Tau Empire from existence. They themselves might not be perfect, but their slight glimmer of hope is exactly that, a glimmer in a dark and crushing galaxy. Of course,
thank you for the super chats. Tau fact: because humans and other brighter soul species are incorporated into the Tau, they're slowly creating chaos god based on the greater good, named Tauva. So, is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? Or is that all relative? I guess it's all relative in Warhammer. Tau firepower, but not good at melee combat. They do have humans among their ranks, calling them Givesa.
Nobody dares take the attempt to destroy the Tau Empire because doing so
bad
is
for
an
humans.
enormous amount of resources, and for the same reason why you don't full send your whole army to one person in a commander game of Magic. You open yourself up to player 2 and 3. But not to say it won't be a struggle. The Tau Empire, when prepared, are a vicious fighting force who might delete your formation before you even see them. But they lack numbers, and in the dark corners of the galaxy, something is coming that is entirely numbers.
Yeah! Tyranid!
There is a
finally, we're here!
eating at the Imperium. With each decade, it advances deeper, leaving
bugs!
dead worlds in its wake. This horror, this abomination, has thought and purpose that functions on an unimaginable galactic scale, and all we can try to do is stop the swarms of bioengineer monsters it unleashes upon us by instinct.
Yummy.
We have given the horror a name to salve our fears. We call it the Tyrannid race. But if it is aware of us at all, it must only know us as
Yeah, your
the
food.
conflicts of Warhammer 40k are chaotic
Oh,
enough
look
with
how
the sheer
cool they
volume
look.
of violence that exists in the confines of the Milky Way. However, there is a threat to the galaxy that extends beyond our known galaxy that is creeping ever closer and cannot be negotiated with. What drew them to the galaxy is unclear. It may have been the light of the Astronomicon itself, like a moth to a flame. It could have been a Xenos device detonated in the Horus Heresy. It could have been that they were done eating the Andromeda galaxy and they have come to take ours, or they might be running from something far, far worse. Regardless of the why, the where, when it came to the first official contact with these creatures, was the planet of Tyran. This is the site where the Imperium encountered a fleet of these creatures before being utterly torn to shreds.
Oh my
Thus,
gosh.
these creatures became known
Look at
as
the detail.
Tyranids. There's plenty of evidence that the Tyranids have been lurking in our galaxy for years beforehand, but this was the first true instance of their presence being fully known. Unlike other creatures in the realm of 40k that can be talked to, captured, or negotiated
Whoa.
with, the Tyranids are unable to be reasoned with. They are, at
Dinosaurs.
their core, animals, but not the fun kind of animals. They are these xenomorphs.
Ugh, look at their organs, like just sitting there on the outside. Ugh.
40k, and boy are they hungry. They are instinctively hardwired to either kill or be killed, and they are an unrelenting force due to this. However, just because they don't talk outwardly doesn't mean they don't communicate with one another. The true horror of the Tyranids is found in their driving force, the hive mind.
3, 2, 1.
Hot in here, my Nelly.
That's what I guessed. What?
You see, the Tyranids are a collective consciousness that are all connected to a singular embodiment of psychic power that is utterly incomprehensible to the human mind. To keep
What?
this connection there, the Tyranids on the field of
I don't
battle
remember
are followed
this.
around by synapse creatures, essentially serving as their Bluetooth connection to the greater hive mind. This allows them to send and receive information about the battle they're in, and it also allows them to adapt to certain situations based
That's
on
so
the information
useful.
gained. Depending on the enemy, the swarm might be able to develop a new weapon or new tactics so they can get the upper hand. When the synapse connection is cut, they are unable to essentially form a save state and are stranded. The sheer power of the hive mind presence pours from each Tyranid in such a manner that it causes a distortion in the warp itself. A hive fleet's arrival can cause a dark shadow the size of several light years, coined the shadow in the warp. This shadow prevents any usage of the warp, or at least makes it exceptionally difficult. Communications shut down due to astropaths being unable to talk. Ships cannot freely enter the warp, and even creatures with a warp sensitivity feel an immense dread.
All because of the
It causes
Tyranids?
everything to just kind of sit dead, like at a buffet counter waiting for the afternoon meal rush. The Tyranids meander through the galaxy in these gigantic hive fleets that are fueled by bioships, and these ships contain birthing pools for Tyranid armies and more ships. Everything about the Tyranids is organic, and to fuel this war machine, the Tyranids consume any and all biomass they come across and absorb it into their respective hive.
Awesome.
From the ground to literally the air, the Tyranids strip a planet to
Oh my goodness, I love the Tyranids because, like, all the art, there's just so much detail. Like the Tyranids look so complex, and it's so cool.
lifeless and uninhabitable hulk. As a means to curb the advancement of the Tyranids, the Imperium has been known to preemptively exterminatus worlds in the path of a hive fleet so that they have less biomass to consume in an attempt to starve them. The Halo method, literally scorched earth tactics by taking everything out of the freezer and lighting it on fire. Outside of the obvious threat and adaptive and unreasonable enemy posed on the field of battle,
look like
the most
Halo
dangerous
aliens.
aspect of the Tyranids comes in the form of their general unpredictability.
Right.
The Tyranids are external to the Milky Way galaxy itself, and it's unknown where they truly hail from. However, their arrival in the Milky Way is seemingly random and in 3D space, implying quite heavily that Tyranids have the galaxy surrounded in some kind of way. Due to this, you will sometimes see instances of species engaged in a separate conflict, both agree to a temporary truce in order to take out a Tyranid threat. Because regardless of the stakes at hand, the existence of the Tyranids marks the heat death of the galaxy itself. And all the factions can ultimately agree that the Tyranids themselves act as the biggest threat to all of them. The Tyranid race is truly an unknowable horde and pulls from that horror of the unknown. They as a faction are not one.
But they're a cool looking horror though. They're obviously one of the best ones.
With a large amount of general lore because their entire race is told from the point of view of those being eaten by them. Tyranids are called that due to the planet Tyran they destroyed, as we mentioned earlier, and their names are often phrases given to them by their victims. The Swarm Lord, Old One-Eye, the Death Leaper, Von Ryan's Leapers, and so on. Despite the inability to even perceive the vast...
So if one faction in Warhammer would win, do you think it would be the Tyranids?
Psychic hive mind of the Tyranids, they are fiercely intelligent. Special poisons and items designed to counter them are adapted in a matter
or the
of
orcs?
hours. If you bring light infantry, they create...
So how do you think a battle against orcs and Tyranids? I feel like it's odd that orcs run out of people to fight. Why don't they just fight the Tyranids? There's like endless battles with the Tyranids, right?
Monsters. If you brought weapon emplacements, they spawn little creatures to scour your vents and sewers. Many of you enjoyed the Servitor excerpt from part 1, and so bear with me as I provide you another very long account of a planetary governor whose planet is in the final death throes of the Tyranid menace. This starts about halfway through. It has been many weeks since a handful of us escaped the sinking of the Seafort Divine Anchor via airlift. We have escaped in this manner because the Tyranids had overwhelmed so much of our world, they no longer appeared to need to continue spawning beasts for aerial supremacy. I shall never forget what I saw from my craft's portholes.
So orcs and Tyranids are constantly fighting. That's what I thought. They should just constantly fight. And then once the orcs start beating more and more Tyranids, they grow stronger, right? Hi!
Alien biostructures dominated Huto's surface. Gigantic, lumpen barnacles pumped out clouds of matter to further poison the planet alongside pulsating, brain-like nodes that resembled lethal fungi. Immense capillary towers stretched high into the poisoned sky. The glistening chitin coating their flanks crawled over by chains of lesser beasts fulfilling
Thank you for the raid! Lone Star Cold! Yeehaw! By the way, I'm LULULASSO, Y2K Gyaru Cowgirl of Texas. And right now we're watching some Warhammer stuff. And we're learning about my favorite, or one of my favorite factions, which is the Tyranids.
Sick alien purpose I cannot know. Digestion pools spread for miles, replacing our once great lakes with reservoirs of bubbling biomatter. Tides of creatures bloated with consumed flesh vomited their guts into the pools, or threw themselves entirely into the billowous liquid.
Do you think their vomit is like Titan's vomit from Attack on Titan?
Amidst the seas of feeder
Think there's like body parts in there?
You would every so often see an explosion or a burst of fire. Were these heroic final stands by other survivors?
I haven't. I'm not sure if I bought it. I did buy like a bunch of other Warhammer games.
Really abandoned ordnance detonating at random? I will never know. I cannot rejoice in the deaths they inflicted. The biomatter of the dead Xenos was surely recycled by the Xenos regardless in no time at all.
Hey, at least they recycle.
Now I stand in the snow, not far from the peak of Mont Saint Hila. I am the only one left that I know. One by one, those with me perished. The slightest cut on a mountain rock resulted in an immediate infection that left the pilot screaming in agony. Her co-pilot fired the shot that ended her torture, and my senior aide threw himself from a ledge. The reality that there was no escape hitting him.
Well,
I
that's
have
so
no
scary.
idea what happened to my chief medicae.
I think if I were to choose to be a faction, I would choose to be a bug.
Were slain by lone beasts the rest of us were unable to kill or drive away. A justly deserved end will soon be mine. I have failed on every possible level.
I wouldn't want to fight against them, so I want to be them.
An alien disease has me within its grasp. My limbs are numb, my tongue is dry as sand, my head throbs. Even at these chilled heights, I sweat profusely. From here where I sit, I can see the final death unfold on the planet entrusted to me. Before me is the Radarin Ocean. The water level is visibly dropping, hour by hour. They are even taking our seas. There are enormous beasts with great, slowly flapping wings and immense open maws moving through the sky. I may be at high altitude, but the air is thinner here than it should be. I know enough of mountaineering to know that. They will not even leave our air. There is an isthmus I can see, upon which is sat one of the Xenos capillary towers. Now I believe I can tell what they are truly for. High up, foul Xenos bioships cling to their flanks like twisted calves at their mother's udders. They are feasting, I am sure, hungrily filling themselves to burst on the hideous gruels that are what remains of my people. I have witnessed the planet's death from sinister start to hideous conclusion. I see the power of our foe, and though I have shown boundless weakness these
horrifying.
past months, I do not see how we could ever.
That's why they're so cruel, though.
If this is any sort of good news, it seems that one thing that might be an inadvertent repellent effect on the Tyranids is chaos. Chaos and chaotic energies offer no nourishment to the Tyranids. They cannot eat that. And the presence of rifts and warp storms work as a means to starve out the Tyranid fleet. The Tyranids, of course, are attempting to adapt.
They can't eat chaos people? Oh.
To this, but it seems that even at the most primal core of the galaxy itself, Chaos agrees that these dinner guests are not welcome in any way, shape, or bioform. In the end, though, the Tyranids represent the final fears of the galaxy itself.
Can they evolve? Like, can they evolve to eat people in the warp? How many years would that take?
Despite the goals to conquer the galaxy as a whole, the remainder of the universe may very well be dead and derelict space. Instead of endless worlds and solar systems, it may just be bones and ash. The tendrils of the hive mind have wrapped themselves around the galaxy, and the only thing that's guaranteed is that dinner is served.
Devour
However,
the chaos
Tyranids
people.
are not simply the
Especially the Slanesh. I hope they just evolved to eat the Slanesh, but in the Eldar.
Hordes of bugs.
The Drukhari.
Beyond the more general buffet tactics of the force of the Tyranids, the hive mind has a more secretive and dangerous means of planetary conquest in the form of something a bit more terrestrial. General upheaval and revolution. However, though the idea of a societal revolt for the good of the populace is an admirable thing, these leaders have the nefarious intent of the hive mind itself. These are the downtrodden and the oppressed, the revolutionaries to a better cause, the heralds of the Star Children. These are the
Gene Stealer!
In the sunless body of our hive, the flock of the faithful grows. We are guided by our great Father's sacred vision, protected by his loving hands. Within these holy shadows we dwell, while the impure bathe in spire-topped starlight. And what lies between those stars? What sails beyond those distant suns? Shrouded in night, born within that eternal black, our redeemers, our gods, truer than the silent, long-dead emperor, the children of the void.
They're gonna
We
take
hear
your
them in our
Levi's.
dreams, we feel them in our blood. They call and we will answer. We
If
will
your
rise
name is Levi, run.
and claim the engines of labor that have bound us in servitude. This world will burn. It will be cleansed, purified, made ready, and the heavens will deliver our reward. The ground zero of a Gene Stealer cult comes in the form of the Gene Stealer itself. deep.
It's
in the
so
depths of the
ugly.
planet, a Gene Stealer acts as almost an advanced recon unit for the Tyranids, and were the first Tyranid
I like
units
that it's
encountered by the
pink, though.
Imperium itself, long before the first Hive Fleet made its presence known. Unlike the Tyranids that can only reproduce through the birthing pools in the fleet, a Gene Stealer reproduces via the Big Smooch. The Gene Stealer kiss is
They
essentially
kiss!
what a facehugger alien
Ow!
does. It attaches to a victim and releases an
Ow!
embryo. However, instead of a chest burster, the embryo alters the genetic makeup of the host itself.
That looks so
turning
painful.
it into the primary conductor of a localized version of a hive mind known as the brood mind. Any offspring that this host produces is known as a Gene Stealer hybrid, and the
I do
host
not want
assures
to
their
be
survival
kissed.
continue to reproduce. The first few generations of a Gene Stealer hybrid look more like the Gene Stealer itself, which in our current reality would be terrifying. But considering how the vast majority of humanity is a little mutated in 40K,
No.
it doesn't stand out as much as it should. As the generations continue, the mutations and the general alien look is almost entirely phased out, and the resulting hybrids look almost identical to the species that they once were. Due to the size of most worlds, the makings of a Gene Stealer cult can exist almost entirely in secret, generation after generation. After a certain period of
I like the Tyranids more.
time, those hybrids will make their way into
I'd rather
generalized
be a
society.
Tyranid
Still
than
connected to the
Gene
mind of the
Stealer.
Gene Stealer itself, the hybrids operate with the express goal of gaining power within society itself in a political and
goodness.
religious sense. Most of the time, they will present themselves as revolutionaries, looking for the betterment of the population. And honestly, it sounds great for a lot of the folks on the planet. By the people, for the people. As they
Yeah!
expand more openly, the crossbreeding continues.
While they kiss the people and corrupt their minds. Awesome.
Until all aspects of the planet's society is infiltrated. However, all bets are off when a hive fleet comes close enough. When a Tyranid hive fleet gets close enough to a planet, the brood mind activates essentially an endgame scenario. The once political and religious leaders become bloodthirsty fanatics that work to finalize the collapse.
They remind me of Dune. I don't remember the name of the people, but they remind me of Dune.
Society and the death of those who oppose them. But to those in the brood mind, the god
Yeah,
they believe in
Harkonnen.
is coming, and this is holy justice and vindication for their religious and political beliefs. As the hive arrives, the planet is essentially ripe for the taking. The original Gene Stealer pieces out to the next world or is reabsorbed for deployment elsewhere, and the Tyranids begin to take the planet for themselves. The cultists sing praises and holy songs as the
TF2! It's a pyro.
Tyranids begin to eat everything up in kind of a meet the pyro sense of religious delusion. But as they are harvested, some of them are snapped back to reality, oops, there goes gravity, before they are thrown into the biomass soup. For a fleeting second, they see that this was all a ruse to consume the world and that their false gods were a bunch of hungry bugs. The cultists essentially put the checkerboard dining cloth on the table for them and invited them for a feast. Due to the constant redeployment of Gene Stealers, there are known cults that pop up across the Imperium itself. Some of the more well-known ones are the Cult of the Bladed Cog or the Rusted Claw, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, different cults that keep popping up.
Yeah, I assume they're kind of like an extension of the Tyranids. But the Tyranids are much cooler than these guys.
All over the galaxy as the Gene Stealers spread. And due to their covert means taking over the planets, they are not generally viewed to be a threat until it is far too
They have
late.
huge
And due to the
foreheads.
know-how of Gene Stealers, they tend to be predatory to those in the lower classes of a given planet. The Gene Stealer cults overall have really come into their own, commercially and artistically. They have very much embraced the revolutionaries aesthetic and crafted a fascinating method in doing so. It's this great combination of this pseudo-Marxist Bolshevik uprising mixed with the hills have eyes in the populace. What's particularly enjoyable about their uprising is that often from their point of view, the reasons they have are extremely justified. Most of the members of the GSC are the extremely impoverished
Why are they all
menial
bald? Bugs don't need hair.
laborers of the Imperium, who honestly wouldn't need an
The bugs keep telling me to short the Bible, but I don't fucking know would either of those things mean? Abort, abort.
Alien presence to provide a manifesto on reasons to revolt. Their weapons are all makeshift and often involve things.
They don't need hair on their heads, sorry. Some bugs have hair on them, I'm pretty sure.
Mining lasers, drilling saws, demolition charges, giant stop signs. Their political machinations work quite well, as the cult ends up being really
Yes, a lot of bugs need hair.
good at assassination, especially when you have a third arm holding a pistol beneath all those robes. They're a faction rife with fascination and culture, and their plans are
I know that tarantula hair can irritate your skin.
generations in the making, to the end goal of being thrown right back into the soup by the star children they prepared the world for. And those are the threats to the galaxy now. The degradation of almost every species
Is that the
now
end?
behest by the Tyranid menace, and all of the infighting between each and every single one of them will be their undoing.
Why are there humanoid Tyranids? Because they're the gene stealers. They get infected by kissing. So don't go and kiss women. She can secretly turn you into a gene stealer.
The world of Warhammer is a bleak and horrendous one, and that is in its own right the charm. It
Don't kiss a bald woman or a bald man.
is so large, so vast, so absolutely horrendous and insane, and yet is treated with 100% severity and seriousness. In the beginning of part 1, I gave you an abridged and different opening to the Warhammer world, the grim darkness of the far future, and I leave you with this part 2 with the full quote itself. It is
Well, you could still be gay. I mean, isn't there guy gene stealers? Just don't go kissing bald people.
the 41st millennia. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. Yet even in his deathless state, the Emperor continues his eternal vigilance. Mighty battle fleets across the demon-infested miasma of the warp, the only route between distant stars, their way lit by the Astronomicon, the psychic manifestation of the Emperor's will.
I know the
Vast armies
Astronomicon.
give battle in his name on uncounted worlds. Greatest amongst his soldiers are the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines, bioengineered super warriors. Their comrades in arms are legion.
Thank you for the super chat. Fun fact, the gene stealers are not able to infiltrate orc society because when the mutation starts to show, the other orcs see the mutants as not orky enough and kill them. Awesome, thanks Taz.
The Imperial Guard and countless planetary defense forces, the ever-vigilant Inquisition, and the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus, to name only a few. But for all their multitudes, they are barely enough to hold off the ever-present threat from aliens, heretics, mutants, and worse. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime
True, but there's
These
a lot
are the
of
tales
us.
of those times. Forget the power of technology and science for
There's
so
a
much.
lot of humans though. Thank you for super chat. To clarify, the kissing is only from the gene stealer Tyranid itself. Everything else after is an infected person reproducing with other human. But still.
Has been forgotten, never to be relived. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter and the laughter of thirsting gods. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful
Wow! That was a good video. Ricky makes really entertaining videos. And I feel like it's easier for new people to get into the stuff, so that's why I like watching his videos so far. There's probably people that I haven't explored yet. And I could like them more. Who knows? Okay. Go back to here. What did you think? Was there anyone that watched this and they haven't seen it before? Or are most of you Warhammer fans? I have a feeling that most of you are Warhammer fans. Anyways, now that there's a lot of people here, I need to ask you a question, Warhammer fans. What books do you recommend for new people to read? Like people who don't know a lot. Okay, so far I have Horus Heresy, The Great Devourer, Fabius Bible. I don't know how to say this. Caiaphas Cain, and then Eisenhorn. You guys can all read? Oh, I mean, I'm an illiterate cowgirl and I was never taught to read. Caiaphas Cain. Caiaphas Cain. Fabius Bible books? Okay, I have that. Good night, Caiaphas Cain. Yeah, there's audiobooks on Audible, right? There's also a new book coming out of the 16th. Yeah, y'all said that there was a lot of Horus Heresy books, right? She's rootin' tootin' and tootin' whatever thing, but literate. I have a question. How long is each book? Are they like 1,000 pages each? Don't start with Horus Heresy. I think I am gonna start with Eisenhorn series. Elephant Raid? Hello everyone. Thank you for the super chat. Caiaphas Cain is an easy noob start and very funny with British humor. Eisenhorn is James Bond and 40k Gone is also good. Hold on, let me see who rated me. BB! Hi, BB! Oh my god, hello. Thank you for the raid. By the way, I'm LULULASSO, a Y2K Kiadu cowgirl of Texas. Right now, we're talking about what books I should read. $400 pages? Okay, that's not too bad. Okay. The fastest I've ever read a book was one, and it had 1,000 pages. I read an 1,000-page book in one day. And it's because I liked it so much. Is too many too much for me? Yeah, I think I'll start with Caiaphas Cain. And then Eisenhorn. That's what I have, like, the first two ones. How much do you remember? Not a lot, because I was young. Thank you for the super chat. Gore-Tech and Felix Omnibus is the best introduction book into Warhammer Fantasy. Oh, yes! I think Cleo was talking about Warhammer Fantasy. She said that's like the better one, I think. Gore-Tech and Felix. Second, the audiobooks. Cyphus audiobooks are great. Dun 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 dun. I'm writing that down too. Halucha. Every time I see your name, I'm reminded about that one Pokemon spelling bee that I did and I got your name wrong. 10 to 12 hours, that's not too bad. That means if you listen to like 2 hours each day, then you'd get it done in like 6 days. The best part about Horus Heresy is everything is a Space Marine. Tell me ones about the Sisters of Battle. Which one has the Sisters of Battle in it? Those are ones about the Inquisition too. Kinda both. If you want to learn more about Warhammer Fantasy, Pancreas no work. Faith and Fire. What is the writing style like? Faith and Fire. Is it very technical with a bunch of words that are hard to understand? Eisenhorn will be an Inquisitor heavy series? Hold on, let me put a star next to Eisenhorn. Inquisitor. Inquisition. Sorry, I took my clothes off. The Triumph of Saint Catherine. Triumph of Saint Catherine. Thank you. Now I'm gonna become poor. Watch me really like the books and then I spend all my money on them. Hi Ender, hello. Welcome Lulu. Yeah, welcome to Warhammer. Spending all of my money. That's okay though. It's okay. Here, I'll make videos about them and then have them as write-offs. Emperor Text-to-Speech is very funny and short comedy series. Easy for noobs. What if the Emperor got Stephen Hawking device? That sounds funny. I like the Sisters of Battle because they look cool. Business. Alright. I hope you had fun watching me watch Re-Explained. Sorry it was quiet for most of the time because my small brain takes a lot to listen and comprehend. So I was really trying to focus the whole time. I did pause a lot. That's because super chats and stuff, and then I just wanted to say my thoughts and I don't want to speak over the video, so... The 40k in Warhammer 40k is how much you spend each month. No, I do not. I cannot spend 40k. I don't even make 40k in 1 year. Alright. With that said, I must leave you for the night. I'm sorry. It's almost 12 a.m. You'll have to buy $80 for troop choice. Holy moly. I will be streaming tomorrow. I will be having a collab with Miss Remia from Vispo. Bum, bum, bum. Yay! I will be having a collab tomorrow with Remia, who's really good at FPS, but we're not going to be playing an FPS game. We will be playing a horror game. a fishing themed tour game. So it's gonna be very fun. Woo! Yeah, I probably can't afford Warhammer, but I'm sure the books aren't that expensive, right? Right, Lasso? Right. Alright. Let's see, who can I raid tonight? Thank you, $5 super chat. I don't know if you're into strategy games, but Bricky Red Alert 3 videos you could watch. I liked Warhammer 40k. It made me angry, but it was fun. I haven't played a ton of strategy games. The only strategy games I played on stream were Civilization, Total Warhammer, and those were good to play. I should get back to Civilization. I want to do my history lesson on Wild West history next week too. I haven't made my schedule yet, but I promise this time I'll be prepared. And I want to do it about the OK Corral shootout. Alright, let's see. Who's streaming right now? I am gonna raid Miss Mizuki on YouTube. Yeah, I want to do my history lesson for you guys on the OK Corral shootout. I hope people will like it. I hope people show up. I hope people are interested in Wild West history. Okay, let's see. Who can I raid? Who can I raid tonight? I'm going to raid Miss Olivia Monroe tonight. I gotta say my good nights to everyone. Alright, good night everyone! Good night Texas, good night Sir Jenkins, good night Question Man, good night Ink and Coffee, good night Compochi, good night Liquid Floof, good night Lilo. Good night Wivery, good night Mr. Wigsy, good night Justin, good night Smoldersome, good night Neck, good night Catpaw, good night Biggles, good night Sharky, good night Timotei, good night Sir Jenkins, good night Sosik, good night Derpy, good night Catbryce, good night Resaptor Beta, good night Gory, good night Guarding Overseer. Oh yes, and everyone new, hi. I'm LULULASSO. Question Band, good night. Dono, good night. Mad, good night. Modrocker, good night. Big Stroke, good night. Ramses, good night. Ents, good night. Matt Kramer, good night. Zombie, good night. Miller, good night. Percy, good night. Ender, good night. Is that everyone? Tell me if I missed you or not. Anyways, Johnny, good night. Derpy, good night. I want you to spam in all chats. Oh my goodness. LULULASSO. LULULASSO raid. USA. USA. Sorry, I'm taking my clothes off. Yeah, yeah! Alright. Good night! Mwah, 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 mwah. Good night, YouTube. It's just us now. Good night.